Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our scenario is called Fingerbiter. It was written by Michael Lavoisier, and you can find it in the Call of Cthulhu Miskatonic repository at Drive-Thru RPG. I'm your game master, and this is episode 2. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. All right, guys. Some of you were in the town of Halhane, and some of you were in the church, and you had planned on meeting up back at the ruins. So we'll just for the sake of the game, we'll assume that as you leave the church, the rest of you are driving back into town. You parked your car, and you all meet on the street a few hundred feet from the ruins, and you're walking up towards it. So you walk up the road. You were there last night. Now that you can see things, you can see that there's relatively little in the form of cover, like trees or anything around. The ground is hard. There is grass growing, and there is a small, like a dirt path heading up towards it. You can tell that it's well worn, that people probably walk by this just for exercise in the mornings and stuff like that. The grass grows right up to the rocks, and then you see this ruin sort of ahead of you, looming up. The stones are all kind of scarred black. The ground is bare, and the ground looks almost like in a state of being has been blasted by something.
Gentlemen, what did you guys find out at the church? We haven't really.
Well, it's I'm not sure Excalibur, because there might be a connection there. The church is very well off. It seems that, as you know from what we found out in the inn, there was a substantial amount of money that was donated to the church, and it appears to be a lot, because the church is very, very well off. But we talked to the priest, and there doesn't seem to be anything fishy about the priest, I think. Yet there is clearly a connection between the donation and the tower.
Right.
Interesting.
I can't put my finger on it, but there is something going on there. There is some connection that I don't see.
Well, speaking of fingers, it's a good segue there. So we found out that when Alfred's friend first was taken to the doctors, the finger looked like it had been sawn off or cut off. There was no tear marks or teeth marks or anything of that kind. It was a clean slice straight through. We also found that this isn't the first case of this happening. There's been a few professional women who have had their fingers removed by an assailant dressed in a coat and hat and everything down in Halhane, and they've all woken up in alleyways with their fingers being surgically removed.
How many precisely?
Four,
exactly.
four, I believe. Three,
Yeah,
four.
3 or 4.
You
I
might
think 4, yeah.
actually, from what we found in the church, there might be a sixth one. Because we found a document that stated that on the January 7th, 10th, 11th, 15th, 20th, and 25th of 1782, there were 6 family members of the MacDougall family that got their fingers in that situation.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying there
Supposedly.
might be a 6th. There
might
will
be.
be a 6th. Not that there is one now. Right. Very good.
Yeah, it makes a bit more sense.
Yeah. So there was there was four ladies of the night, Alfred's friend, and then there's possibly at some point going to be another one. And you think that'll, knowing you, Edward, do you think that'll open the portal to Beelzebub and that'll
Not
be the end of the
specifically.
ritual? Is that
The
how that
cards
works?
might be wrong, you know?
Well, your card stated a tower, right? A tower, yeah. And you guys found out there's a connection between money from the church and the tower. So let's stop lollygagging around here and catching up on what we were doing, and let's go see if we can get a bit more of an idea of the the ruins. There's got to be some...
Before we go though, the woman that Liam chatted with there in her backyard. I mean, aside from recounting the gruesome nature of her assault in which she lost the finger, she revealed a fact that chilled me to the bone when she said it. She said that the pain that she is still feeling, it's as if she can still feel the pain in her finger, as if something is gnawing on it.
Oh.
Now, when she said that, it just hit me like a ton of bricks, because Clarence has been claiming that very same thing. How did that strike you, Liam?
Well, it was definitely strange and interesting, though. I also did find it quite interesting that she seemed to be handling it quite a lot better than Clarence. She was up and doing her laundry and going about her day quite happily. So, I mean, look, it's... I suppose there's some potential truth in the fact of what the doctor said about the phantom pains is obviously a potential thing, but the case that there's more than one phantom pain situation with this seems quite odd, and the fact
and it's that word, that gnawing. I mean, did that strike you as a private investigator, Xavier? It's just too coincidental to just explain away.
Just a little. And to be fair, it made me more intrigued in the overall investigation, because now we kind of know that he isn't going crazy. Well, if he is, it's affecting multiple people.
I don't know, but he still thinks it's been bitten off.
Well,
The others seem
that's
fairly happy to think that it had been removed because they saw it be removed, and they saw a man.
But I found this really bewildering, because on the one hand, you clearly exposed the fact that he was lying, because he said it was bitten off, and it seemed that this is such a... But at the same time, there seems to be other people with the story of, or at least the indication that they can still feel their finger.
Yeah, so I agree with that. But the innkeeper, he also mentioned to us that the legend of Clarence's family was that they all went mad and cut their own fingers off. So, I mean, a family madness, I don't know. As Xavier said, I think it's about time, before it gets too dark, we should start having a look at these ruins. Perhaps we should split up a bit and sort of, if we go on either end and then meet up around the other side. So Xavier and I, why don't me and Garrett, we'll go around here to the left, and Alfred and Edward, you go off to the right, and we'll meet up around the back. How's that sound?
Good idea.
That sounds all right to me.
All right. Well, yell if you need assistance.
All right. Now it's going to take you a while, and there's going to be a lot of climbing up and over piles of rock and working your way around. I would like you all to do a dex roll, just to see that you don't trip and fall.
By the way, I'm gonna focus on everything related to the number 6, because now I think of it, I've drawn the 6 of swords.
Oh, okay.
Regular pass.
Well, that's not a good sign. Hey, Liam, are you okay? And then I'll probably fall over as I get a 99.
Yeah, 99.
I got a 3.
Well, I'll
That's
catch
not a
you
good
because
sign.
I got a 0-3, so extremely.
Nice.
Well, the 99, that's a crit.
Yeah.
Let's just say that you do 1 hit point of damage. Then you bang your knee on a rock as you go down.
Ah, the bus.
Yeah.
Well, Alfred ends up failing by 1, and so he sort of pulls on some of his luck and perhaps saves his butt from a fall.
Okay. All right. So as you're wandering around, who went left and who went right?
Me, Xavier, and Professor Garrett went left, and Alfred and Edward went right.
Okay. You and Professor Garrett and the other one you said,
Xavier.
Xavier, go ahead and do a spot hidden roll.
Ooh.
That's a regular success.
Failure.
Hard.
Okay. Any better than hard? Nope.
Just a regular.
All right. So, Liam, you guys are wandering around and you notice on one of the blocks that's there, there's a bit of a dark stain. And as you approach, you realize, perhaps from the texture or whatever, there seems to be maybe a splash of probably blood that's mostly dried. But you notice also on some of the dirt and around there are stains that could be blood, like the amount of blood that you might get if you snapped off a finger.
Xavier, Garrett, over here.
Yes.
I believe I may have found our Exhibit A here. You can see from the splatter zone on this rock, I would say this would be where our friend removed his digit.
Everybody else do spot hidden rolls as you're.
Oh, okay. I thought that was gonna be. Nope, that is 0, 0, 0. I am having terrible luck tonight.
You're looking for the blood, not that rock. That rock.
I
How
got a
everybody
hard
else?
success.
Okay, hard success. As Liam is saying that's where he thinks that your friend cut off his finger, you look down at the ground, and although you do see in the dirt modern shoe prints like your shoes would make, you also see what look like bare feet, but they're kind of elongated. And you also see the very clear, distinct mark of high heels.
Oh, gentlemen, look at this. There seems to be several footprints up here. I think the gentleman was perhaps not alone. I mean, look at this. It looks like it's from high heels and someone
this
working.
Footprint, that's a very strange bare footprint, you say, Professor.
Yeah.
It is a strange one. I reckon you two should be the PIs. You guys are spotting more things than I am.
Well, that's why you two call us in quite often, Xavier.
The prints are not entirely clear, but they're odd looking. Yeah.
Yes, it's quite strange. Well,
can I try a natural world roll?
Sure.
Yeah, I might do the same actually. I've got a double right nature roll.
I'm just going to keep looking at them because I'm just going to go off the fact that I didn't even spot it.
I'm going to burn 5 luck and make it a success.
Okay. You can't think of anything on the planet that would make a footprint like that. It's almost as if it's a human footprint, but longer, like something that somebody who's deformed might have.
And is it the toes that are extended, or like the middle?
It's everything. That front end where the toe prints are in the ground, the toe prints are far away from the foot, and the heel is once again far away from the ball of the foot.
Right.
So that it looks like it's
similar.
You only see the one footprint.
Okay.
Well, and you haven't really looked around. If you want to look around for more footprints,
yeah,
you can.
I would want to try to follow the footprints
All right.
by looking.
Well, go ahead and do another spot hidden then.
Come on, please.
Regular pass.
All right.
Right.
Regular.
I'm going to spend free luck to succeed.
Okay.
Oh.
A sort of scenario begins to play itself out in your mind that someone in regular shoes and someone in high heels came up to right about where this all is from the road, and that something with elongated bare feet came out from the ruins themselves and took the finger or something, because there's definitely blood there.
Right.
So there's still some remnants of a building in the ruins.
Not really, no. Just rubble.
Are you guys getting the same picture I am of what could have transpired here?
Yeah, let's assume that the shoed footprint is Clarence. Let's assume that for this at the moment.
And assume he had a lady partner.
Yeah, we've got a woman of some kind.
Woman of the night, maybe.
Possibly, but I didn't really think Clarence was the type. But I could be wrong. But then this, and perhaps we need to look further in the ruins. See if there's an opening or some kind, or I don't. I mean, looking from here, it doesn't look like it. All just looks rubble.
It must have come from whoever this print belongs to. It must have come from somewhere. And
what's Clarence's lad? What's his assistant's name?
Oh, that's David Zuckerman.
David. What do we really know about this David? I mean, Alfred didn't seem to know him.
He seemed like a nice lad. He had a very good taste in literature, from what I gather. I'm not really much of a reader, but he was reading. I assume he has a good taste. I'm not sure.
Alfred also hasn't really had much contact with Lawrence in the past, 15 years. So,
well, remember, Xavier, what our headmaster used to say to us back at school: never judge a book by its cover. So David may seem all prim and proper and crystal clean, but perhaps he came up here with Clarence wearing some high heels. We're not here to judge.
Yeah, sure. We've seen stranger things.
We've seen stranger things,
yes.
Of course, yes. Well, what do you say? We'll have a better look deeper in the rubbles. Please watch your footing this time, Xavier.
I will try.
Would you like my cane?
No. I don't need a cane. I'm more than capable of getting through some rocks.
All right. So you guys continue to wander around. You'll find too that you don't really stick to like solid groups, because there's just so much. It's like you're at a rocky beach and you're just climbing all over it, looking around. Everybody do spot hidden rolls.
Ooh. Regular.
I'll do 2 to pass on regular.
Okay.
Would you like the folks on the right side to do those?
Yeah. Well, I thought you guys he called you over.
Oh no, they were on the other. Yeah.
Yeah, I think by now you guys have come over to see what they're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Okay, very good.
So you've heard that. I'm sorry, I was under the impression you're all together.
Yeah, I passed that spot hidden.
27 under 27.
Okay. And Magne?
Oh, regular success.
Okay.
39
so
and 50.
we got 4 regular successes.
We all see it at once.
We'll say Alfred. You actually managed to catch a couple of extra odd footprints in amongst the rubble, and follow them backwards. You find a place where a number of blocks have been sort of arranged or pushed aside or set up so that they make like a little framework over a hole in the ground. And the hole is not particularly large, but once you see the hole and you're there, you can see that there are more shoe prints, not high heels, but regular shoe prints also right around the area. And maybe some sprinklings of blood, dried blood on the rocks about. The smell from the hole is not very pleasant. It smells like maybe there's something dead down there.
Mm.
It's not overpowering, but it's definitely there in the air.
And what is the like diameter of the hole and the rocks that surround it?
Not particularly large. It looks like it says here that anybody with 60 or lower a size could fit in. Otherwise,
Okay.
that you would have to actually move some of the blocks and widen the hole so that you could get through.
And then
And
looking down in the hole, can you see the bottom of it or any light at all?
You can see that it goes down about 6 feet and then it turns horizontally.
Gentlemen, I think I found something. Following these footprints back, there is this hole that's surrounded by, I mean, clearly somebody has stacked these rocks around. Is that blood? Spatters of blood here
More
too?
blood.
Like
Oh,
Mm.
the stench is awful.
But there's no high-heeled prints here. It's
No, but
only...
is the elongated footprint here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so this could be where our third assailant came from, in the theory.
He might hide in this hole.
Alfred, I'm not quite as well studied as you, but in your expert opinion, does this elongated footprint resemble a rat?
Not really.
I get your point, Mr. Buchanan.
No, I'm actually legitimately saying, like, would this elongated match up that with a giant rat, or is it more human?
It certainly doesn't look like a rat print to me.
It doesn't look like a human print really either.
No.
Could be anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not really.
Should you not have a peek down the hole?
But do we have a lantern or anything?
It's middle of the day. You probably didn't bring a lantern with you.
I didn't bring one.
But
Who's the smallest?
you are literally 5 minutes walk from the
Yeah.
village. So.
Who's the smallest here?
I'm
Who is the smallest size?
I've got
under
65.
the.
Edward is 50.
It's in your stats at the
Yeah,
very top of
I'm
your character
50,
sheet.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm 50 as well.
That's my size as well.
Mm.
All right. Well, it can't be me or
We're-
Xavier because we're going to have to do some work to make this possible for us to even fit down. Sorry, I've been hitting the buffet table a bit too much, my friends. So who wants to? I mean, in some ways, if someone goes down and then another small person holds their legs, so we can pull them out if need be.
Well, it looks like it's just about a 6-foot drop. The worst of it is the stench.
It's actually slanted too.
Oh right,
So it's not dropping straight down. It's kind of a slant.
I think maybe we could get a rope, tie a rope around the person, just to be able to pull him out quickly.
Easier, yeah, I agree with that.
Is there?
I can go if you want.
Is there like long grass or somewhere nearby?
There's no plants growing anywhere here.
Ah, that's right. We made that point.
But there are big rocks and big blocks.
Yeah.
If you wanted to anchor something, you could easily tie
that is a
rope
good
around.
point. I was thinking more. I wanted to do like a pull straws. I was going to shorten some and then make the three of them. But I think
Let them
Edward.
decide. Let them decide.
He would go down.
Why don't we?
All right, well, let's go get a rope, like the professor said, and then we could tie Edward up, and no, not tie, but tie it around Edward, and then you can head down. But Edward, don't be a hero, right? If you need to come out,
I'm just curious. If there is any problem, I will pull on the rope to tell you that.
Yes. All right.
So we also get a lantern as well. Is it?
Yes. Some form of
excellent.
Cool.
Some form of light. I'm sure they'll have some things we need.
And maybe a bucket or some sort of box if you see a rat, or if maybe you could catch
something
it.
to catch
like
them.
a good stick or something to be able to.
Yeah, maybe, because judging from the footprints, it might be larger than something you could fit in a box. So maybe a stick to defend yourself would be better.
A lance, judging by the size, a lance or spear could be better.
Spear.
Where are we going to find a spear?
Yeah,
we can craft one. Just a long stick.
Oh, I see. You mean like a makeshift? I thought you meant like a bloody javelin.
Not just a shaft. No.
The medieval spear shop is right down the street.
I see. Why don't we pick up a flail while we're at it?
I mean, we are in what 1920 something. So
where did that spear shop come from? Holy fuck!
We even have flashlights,
Oh, look, they're on sale.
All right. No, you could make a big long pointy stick.
Yeah, it's nice because you can keep it at distance. I mean, there's a reason behind pike.
Actually, maybe all of us shouldn't go. Maybe someone should stay here and just sort of keep an eye on things to see if anything has happened. So
I've got the gun.
I've got a gun as well. So
well, I didn't have a pipe all day, so I think I will sit here and, if you don't mind, of course.
Me and Alfred will go back to the inn, and we'll get all the things we need. You three stay here and keep an eye on the hole and see if you see anything suspicious. Alfred, we should probably also stick our head in and check on Clarence while we're there, don't you think?
I think that's a great idea.
I can also look at organising some transport for poor Clarence back to London. I'll get him some transport back tomorrow. All right. Well, we're not too far away, gentlemen. So, Xavier, if anything, fire a shot.
I'll fire 2.
Don't waste bullets.
I'll fire 2 if it's really a bad situation.
All right. So
fire
Liam,
1 for a warning.
Liam, you're heading back to the inn.
The Red Boar, I believe.
Right.
The Boar? Yeah.
And Xavier, you're staying there.
Yeah.
What are the other 3 doing?
I'm accompanying Liam to the end. I'm going to suggest that Liam gather up the supplies while I pop in on Clarence and check on him.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for Liam to not be around because I don't want to upset him. He already accepts me as I am right now. Just to pull the cards, in that kind of stuff. Concentrating on the whole.
Okay.
Another.
We'll use these cards that are completely not set up ahead of time. You pull the Wheel of Fortune.
No, okay.
You pull Death.
Okay, the second one is...
And then you pull the Ten of Swords.
Shit.
Edward, what have you pulled? Can you explain to me?
Well,
going on?
Fortune's Wheel, technically it's kinda random for card. The card of Death. I'm gonna stop you right here. The card of Death isn't always that bad.
No.
It's just finishing of something, but
Yeah.
there is the 10 of swords, and this one means danger, the highest one.
Okay. Well. Okay. Let's just hope none of this is true. It's all baloney anyway, so.
The cards
How does it
can
fit
make
with
errors.
but with the cards you had the last time, how does this one fit into the picture?
Maybe it's the source of the danger. I don't know. The cards are really more of a suggestion compared to a truth, if you see what I mean.
Well, I know a little bit, Edward, and I know that death sometimes means a rebirth almost. Like
Yes.
Yeah. I know that. So, but I don't understand your occultism tarot bullshit. But I can come to terms with it, I guess.
I mean, I can understand why here my cards would say to me that it's more dangerous compared to judging by what people told us.
Yeah.
But they've already failed me at some time, so...
Well, going by the fact
be...
that there's a hole here, and there's probably, and we know there's something with some deformed thing of some kind. Your cards don't seem that far off the beaten track.
Yeah, it's fishy, but they don't tell me the truth. I have to find it.
Well, let's hope we don't find death. Not today, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, what's Magni up to? I mean, Professor Jarrett?
Well, honestly, I'm just having a good smoke, watching the gentleman argue about the hole.
Okay.
But doing so, I try to take in the whole scene and try to see also the surroundings around the hole. And is there anything popping up, anything that seems out of place besides this temporary structure in the hole, of course?
Well, as you recall, the legend that has sort of been circulating is that they had gold and that they found the gold while they were digging a well. And people have scoured the ruins looking for the possible location, but nobody's ever found it. From the hole and the slant and the way that it turns, it's going directly underneath everything. So if there were lower levels, this seems to be going there.
Okay. So, gentlemen, do you realize if you look at the placement of the hole in conjunction to where the tower must have been, it seems that the angle would suggest that we might reach some basement, or at least an area underneath the tower itself. Okay. The question is, though, is this hole from when the MacDougals were actually living here, or has it been dug afterhand?
That's actually a good question. There is indication that some of this right around the hole is fresh, especially the rocks that are sort of piled up to make kind of a ring around it. Those look like they've been recently put there. It would take some strength, but it could be done by one person.
Is it possible that our friend did more than just have a peek and his finger bit off near the tower?
True.
That's possible.
Very, very possible. I'm intrigued because most old castles and that kind of thing, they tended to have like either a dungeon or an underground
Secrets,
system.
yeah.
So it wouldn't be too unusual, but maybe whatever's happened here, maybe they, to try get to it, maybe there's something down there that's maybe come up. Would it look like that it's been, how does it look like it's been dug, Tom? Like, does it look like it's
From
been dug
inside
from the
out,
top
from
or?
outside in.
Do a knowledge roll.
Okay. Okay, that's a 33, so that is...
Can I try 2 for the knowledge roll?
Sure.
Oh, that's a hard success. 33.
Oh, I got an
82.
extreme success.
82.
Okay. So those of you who got really good successes, especially extreme success, there is no big pile of dirt out here. It might have been dug from the inside out.
Okay.
And then maybe modified a little from the outside.
So, Garrett and Edward. So, maybe, just maybe, going with Edward's weird theories and the fact there's this weird, like, I won't call a humanoid creature, deformed humanoid, going around. Maybe it's been trapped. Something happened. It's been kept in like a dungeon and it's like made its way up. And I don't know. This is just theories. I have not a clue.
Well,
I don't believe in this. But who knows?
You know me. I'm a man of science. I'm a man of knowledge. I really enjoy empirical evidence. Always, but I must also say there is this notion of digging too deep or flying too high, and perhaps this is what the McDougalls did. Maybe they dug too deep, because it seems that there is something underneath the tower that is still there hundreds of years later. Or
Yeah, but how can a creature of that possible size could live in that situation?
well, if there are not. There is clearly this is dug from the inside, or the dirt would be outside, and
yes.
If this is an exit, then there should be an entry hole somewhere, and if there is not, then the creature is actually coming from the ground.
Yes, and maybe come up to, well, it may feed, but I guess going by what we've gathered, there's fingers. Has it been feeding on fingers? Why would you eat a finger? Why wouldn't you just eat a whole human?
I'm just asking myself, is there a trade? Is the finger a price to be paid for the gold?
Like a devil almost. Making a pact with a demon or a devil, trading a little bit of yourself for something in return.
And it is the ring finger, so there's a symbolism there as well.
If the creature anyway would need those fingers to live, it makes 11 fingers that we know for more than 200 years. That doesn't make sense, at least to me.
Well, maybe if the McDougalls got their fortune from trading or their fingers in or striking some bargain with this unearthly creature, and perhaps someone is trying to collect enough fingers to pay the original price, because there's 6 fingers originally and now we're up to 5. Maybe someone is reconstructing the agreement, assuming there is an agreement, of course.
If it's some kind of demonic thing, I'm not trusting things that much, but from an occultist perspective, it can make sense on that way of presenting it.
Okay. This is making me think that maybe Liam was maybe right about David in a sense. Maybe David might know a bit more than he's letting on, because he seemed very insistent that he seemed like he was telling the truth, but he was very insistent that he stayed in. And I know if you're so close to the professor and you're working for him, you would check on him and make sure he's all right. So, especially you'd be kind of leering over him if you're trying to learn. So maybe he did know he left. Maybe he knew a bit more than he was letting on. I don't know.
Could he be the man pulling the strings?
I don't think the man pulling the strings, but he might have at least a bit more knowledge to what is going on. Or it could just be, we've had many cases, I've done it, where complete dead end. It could just be a complete coincidence. It could just be a little red herring in this tale, but maybe
there is no tail and there is no red herring. Stop it. This is not a game. This is reality. Right. Actually, I will stop you there for a moment. Liam and Alfred, you are back at the inn. Alfred, you're going upstairs to check on Clarence. Liam, what sort of stuff are you gathering together?
So I would be gathering a good long piece of rope, like the longest possible one I can find. I don't know how far he's going to go in or whatever the case may be.
There's plenty of rope, yeah.
I'd like to get a torch or a lantern of some kind that he can have down there. And then possibly, I don't know if a spear's really the right thing, but something that he can use to kind of...
This is farm country. There's pitchforks. There's
perfect. Yeah, that'd be something along those lines. The other thing I'd also like to
there's also shotguns.
I don't want to give Edward a shotgun. The other thing I would like to do though, I'll definitely take a shotgun though. Is I'd like to call. I'm going to organise some transport to move Clarence from here back to London, but I'm going to make sure I'm out of earshot of Alfred. I'm actually going to call Stonehurst Asylum and talk to Dr. Tarr and sort of explain the situation and organise for him to meet Clarence and potentially David or whoever's with him at the station and take Clarence to Stonehurst Asylum.
Okay. That seems reasonable. You're probably not able to get a hold of Dr. Tarr, but you are able to get a hold of Dr. Feather.
Professor Feather?
Professor Feather, yeah.
That'll be fine, yeah.
All right, so while you're doing that, Alfred, you go upstairs, and before you even get to the room, you can hear Clarence moaning and complaining, you know. You go inside, and David is sitting there. David's once again giving him a cold compress for his forehead, and he's obviously trying to make him comfortable. But it's also obvious that Clarence has been drinking already, trying to staunch the pain, and that he's really, really, really miserable and a little manic looking. It looks like he hasn't slept well. His eyes are red. And he's just like, Alfred, have you found it yet? Have you figured anything out? What progress have we made? I'm going to go insane.
So I'll look at David and ask for the cold compress. And David, could I have a few private moments with my friend here? Would you mind?
Of course, sir. And you see him reach down and pick up his book and his hat. And he goes to the door and puts his hat on, and he steps outside and closes the door. And you can hear him going down the stairs.
Good. Yeah. So I'll, as David was doing, comfort Clarence with the cold compress. And yes, Clarence, it is Alfred here.
What does it mean, Alfred? What does it mean?
I need you to square with me. We're here alone. None of the rest of the mousetrappers are here. David has gone. What the hell is going on? I mean, I know I've not seen you in a while, but we've got a history. Square with me.
It's why I called you. I don't understand what's going on.
What is this foulness and horror that you wrote me about, that you seem to have discovered in your genealogical research that brought you to that tower that night?
The horror is what happened to me. There's something there. There's something that attacked me and took my finger. And now I can still feel it. I don't understand why. All I found in my genealogy, I had very little time. I haven't checked the church or the records or anything, but I believe that my ancestor Ian was the first one of my family in the United States, and that he had come from somewhere. And I've spent months searching, trying to find where he came from. And I finally narrowed it down to this town of Dunval. And I came here and I found Dunval, I found the ruins, the McDougall ruins, and I thought, oh, I've got it. Maybe the rumors in my family about gold is true. I mean, we already have wealth, but I just wanted to go out and take a look. I figured the next day I would start checking in the church records and everything like that. But then something attacked me, and it still hurts.
So my psychological read on Clarence is he purposely holding something back from me? Is he lying, or does he seem to be?
Do a psychology roll on him.
I got a 19, and my psychology is 70. So at that, it's a hard success.
Right. He seems very, very confused, but it doesn't seem like he's holding anything back. He's as much confused that you haven't figured it all out yet, and solved his, because he thinks that, as he said in the letter, that you would be his savior. You'd figure it all out, and you and your friends would figure it all out and save him from whatever the fuck is eating his finger.
Well, let me just square with you, and I'll tell you what we found out. We've been up to the McDougall Tower ruins, and there's footprints. There's footprints that I assume might be your footprints, but there are two sets of footprints that are a little bit more difficult to identify. One is of something with a rather abnormal, deformed foot, and the other is a person wearing high-heeled shoes. I wonder if you might shed any light on that. Were you alone when you went up to the tower?
Yes, I was completely alone. You can see there are my shoes there, and he points at them over on the, Just a moment. There's something going on.
Sure.
Are you okay? Something was banging. Were you knocking on something? I can't hear you. What are you saying? Were you like knocking on something? Yeah, breaking something up. Oh, it was making my whole room bang. Sorry, that's okay. Sorry, he's cooking downstairs, and he was banging something, and it sounded like something was knocking at my door, which he wouldn't do unless like I thought, oh my God, was something wrong? What's the emergency?
Wasn't chopping a finger?
Yeah, it was.
I don't know how well I remember the footprint, the sole print of the footprints up on the at the tower, but I will just he points to his shoes. Idea comes into my head. I'll look at the bottom of his shoes and see if they match.
Well, you can see two things. You can see that there are some remnants of, dirt or mud that's on them, possibly from up there. But he's got kind of a small foot.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look like the size of the footprints that are up there.
Clarence, how long have you known David?
Oh, I've known David for maybe 3 years.
What would you say if I said that I didn't trust him?
Well, you don't even know him. He's always been a very loyal friend and a very good person. He takes care of me.
I'm just trying to square all of the footprints that were up at the tower and whether he might be visiting the tower.
Oh, I don't think so. He's been at my side ever since this happened.
And when you went up to the tower that night, he stayed back here.
Reading his book.
What book is he reading? I see him with that book all the time.
Oh, I don't know. He likes to read.
Is he staying in this room with you, or does he have a separate room? I don't see his belongings.
You say that, and he looks very uncomfortable at the question that you asked, and then quickly says, "Oh, no. He's staying in his own room." And you realize that he's embarrassed, and yeah.
Well, I won't push the matter if he's embarrassed about that. Do I see evidence of David's belongings in here too?
Maybe some of his things. If what you think is true, they're trying to be very discreet.
Yeah.
But do a spot hidden for me.
35, that's a regular success.
Okay. It's not something that sticks very hard in your mind. And because his hand is injured, obviously some of his normal jewelry, if you will, is on the bedstand next to him, which includes a ring that has the McDougal family crest on it. He's always had it ever since you can remember. He had it in school. Said it was an heirloom, something passed down from his family. But you just noticed that it's sitting there, probably because he had that finger bitten off.
I'm glad that you were able to recover your family ring. I know that's been with you for a long time. Oh,
that old thing? Yes, I just wear it because, everybody in my family wears that symbol. It's my family crest.
I'll pick up the ring and just admire it and look at it.
It looks like it's made out of gold. It's not really that special, and it's well worn. I mean, he's worn it forever.
Well, Clarence, I see that. Oh, this cloth here, it's gotten a bit soiled. Let me get a fresh one, and I'll stand up rather quickly and walk to the dresser and just open it. Really looking for perhaps David's shoes or maybe even his high heels, and on the pretense of getting a fresh towel.
It's just Clarence's stuff in there, underwear and socks and things.
Okay.
Nothing else. And maybe you find a handkerchief or something to use if you want to change his. That probably wouldn't be in his drawer. That would be, but that's probably on top of the dresser.
All right, Clarence. Well, I'm sorry I don't have more for you. Liam is waiting for me downstairs. We have discovered a hole up at the tower.
Oh.
There is some blood spatter up there, and we're going to investigate it now.
Oh, perhaps it's the thing that bit my finger, and you'll find make sure you're careful. They were vicious. It attacked me. It was huge, but it was too dark. I couldn't see what it looked like.
Could I borrow your family ring just for luck?
Sure.
Okay.
Just don't lose it.
Hang in there, Clarence.
Okay.
And at that, I'll
you go back
leave
downstairs. And as you're going downstairs, I guess you meet Liam in the inn in the front. And also, as you come down the stairs, you see David across the room. He's sitting cross-legged, reading his book, and he sort of gives you a half glance as you're coming down the stairs, and then he finishes the paragraph that he's reading, closes the book, stands up, and walks back up the stairs to Clarence's room. Gives maybe a smile.
Any chance a keen eye might notice the book that he's reading?
Yeah, sure. Count of Monte Cristo popped into my head for some reason. Yeah.
A good title.
All right. So you guys go back outside and you start walking back to the ruins, and you can hear Xavier and Edward chit-chatting, and you see little plumes of smoke from Professor Garrett sitting there smoking, and maybe, I don't know if he's got a pipe or a cigarette. And they're talking about the hole as you guys walk up.
What, Liam? Alfred? Sort of think out?
Yeah, I think so. I've got a good long piece of rope here. I've got a torch for you, Edward, and a pitchfork. Here you go. Let's get all that. And the innkeeper was kind enough to lend me his shotgun. So if anything bigger does come through, I can blast a few holes through him.
Well then, I don't think we should waste any time. Alfred, did you two both go check in on the...
I had
Alfred.
I had a brief chat with Clarence. I mean, I don't know. Maybe my history with him, my friendship with him, has clouded my judgment. I know you folks think that he's stark raving mad. I couldn't get any useful information out of him.
Did you ask
he seems
him about
to
the high
deny?
heels?
Yeah, he seems to deny that he came up to the tower with anyone else. So I just don't know, Professor.
Okay.
Just looking at the footprints, the high heels and the big shoes, are they walking sort of in the same direction? Does it appear that it's a couple of people walking together?
Okay. The high heels are over at the other place where you first saw, where the guys first saw the blood. And they were definitely walking up to that spot together. Over here, it just seems to be the same shoes from over there, but just the regular shoes. And they seem to have been here a number of times because they're kind of all over the place with the humanoid sort of footprints in there too.
And having seen Clarence's small feet and now looking again at these regular shoe prints, they do seem quite bigger.
Yeah, you don't think that they're the same person.
So I do point out that to the rest of the mousetrappers that that is one odd thing. These don't seem like Clarence's footprints.
Possibly it's it says I can't remember who said it, but possibly it is a woman, maybe possibly one of the women that lost their fingers in back in town. Possibly Clarence had some company.
Did Clarence say that he was unconscious? Did he faint or pass out when the finger was bit off? I mean,
he did not.
Well, I've organised transport for Clarence to head back to London tomorrow. So they'll be sending a carriage and things from Halhane, and then from there we'll be able to get him on the train and safely back to where he can get proper medical help and for both his finger and his head.
Well, maybe we shouldn't waste any more time, and Edward,
Yes.
maybe we should get you going down this hall.
Now remember,
By the
Edward,
time you are talking,
any trouble, pull on the rope.
Okay. Did you find something to make a spear or something that could act as a spear?
You're holding a pitchfork.
Pitchfork? Okay. Covers more space.
Good luck there, buddy, as I slap you on your back.
Don't
I go,
worry,
yeah.
On your way.
You'll be perfectly fine. And if you're in trouble, just tug on the rope.
Yeah.
All right.
Good old tug.
All right. So Edward, you're fairly small. It's not that difficult. How do you want to go in? Foot first or head first?
I think it might sound strange, but I'm gonna there head first because the way to use a pitchfork is the arms, so I'll have more reach for the pitchfork that way. It seems more dangerous, but I'm good that way. Going that way.
Good point.
The passage down is fairly narrow, but it's easy. You fit through it quite well. Like I say, up to 65 could fit through it. You slide down, and it's almost like a slide. It almost, it just gently goes to horizontal, and you realize that it opens up into a fairly roundish sort of area.
Okay.
As if you've got a torch with you, a flashlight.
I don't think they gave me one.
Well, they should have given you one. Let's say they gave you one.
No,
I said, otherwise you're in pitch darkness.
I gave him a torch and a pitchfork. Yeah,
Okay.
He's fully kitted up.
All right. You get down there, and you're kind of laying on your belly, still in the tunnel, but you're looking straight forward. The room itself is maybe 30 feet wide, and you can see that it is a mixture of old stonework in places and places where the stonework has failed and the ceiling is caved in and there's dirt. And this whole area has been partly dug out and partly it's a basement of the tower original. So it's rough, and it's oddly shaped because like I say, part of it is buried under the ground. But the ground in here is fairly flat, and you can see that most of it is covered in dirt, but there's also stonework down there that's flattened. So this was at one time a room, and there's places on the ceiling that are kind of like that too, except there's a lot of semi-collapsed brick from up above.
Okay.
So what it amounts to is if you get out of the tunnel and try to stand up, there's only about 5 feet or so of clearance. So you'll be hunkered over just a little bit in this area. And from where you are shining it around, you can see that there are 3 exits going out. And they're just, once again, it's just tunnel and brick, dirt and brick going off into the distance. So like left, right, and central.
I'm gonna start by the right, except if before turning to the right, I'm gonna watch the room and more closely and watch if I can find something that has a relation to the number 6 or 10.
You don't see anything like that, no.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go to the right.
And there's also a fairly strong smell from down here.
Okay.
All right. As you are moving across the room, it's very shadowy and very dark, you can tell. You can see that there is once again sort of a tunnel that is leading out to the right. It's bigger than the tunnel you came down, but it definitely looks dug out, not part of the structure itself.
Okay.
Or leading into more of the structure, but it's been dug out. You can also see the light that's coming down the tunnel from up above. Okay. And it occasionally changes because one of the players will lean over and look down. What do the people up above want to do?
I'm just watching the rope to see if there's a significant, like, big tug, so we know we need to pull him out. Got the shotgun at the ready.
Does that smell like death? Does it smell like a rotten body?
It smells like rotten meat, yeah. But it's not, like I say, it's not overpowering. It's just in the air down there.
Mm-hmm. Can we see the village green or the town proper from the tower?
Oh, sure.
Are we drawing attention?
Not
being
really.
Up in the tower? No, okay.
The people in town tend to stay away from it, absolutely at night, but they've got work and they've got things to do, you know.
Liam, when you were down at the red board, did you perchance pick up some sandwiches?
Luck roll.
You do a luck roll.
I sure did.
Ah,
I got us a full picnic.
Thank you. So we're having lunch.
All right, Edward, do a dex roll.
I'm spending 28 luck to make it pass.
Okay.
That's gonna come back to bite him. Literally.
All right. You move very carefully. Or you're still moving to the right. You move very carefully to where the tunnel sort of leads out. You can tell that it still has some brickwork and a lot of dirt. Obviously, when the building blew up, part of the basement caved in. But this seems to have been tunneled out. There is a strong smell of rotting flesh coming from that tunnel.
Well, I'm not gonna let myself kind of destroyed by that smell and investigate on it. Just on the first part, being careful about what is around me. Analyze my surroundings and decide what I'm gonna do.
All right. You move forward. Now I need you to do another dex roll.
43, so it passes.
Okay. But it's just a regular pass. All right.
Yeah.
You can see that after about 20 feet, the room opens up again. And there's something in the middle of the room that seems to be piled up. At first, it almost looks like, I don't know, like sticks or something. But as you shine your light on it, and you can see that the color of it is kind of a grayish white, you realize that what you're looking at is a pile of finger bones. Looks like a whole bunch of them.
I'm gonna watch the rest of the room if there is something in it.
You look around, it's an oddly shaped room, but there's nothing else in it. There are stains, of course, on the floor that look like blood, and they look like old stains of blood.
Okay. I'm not gonna stay forever in this room. I'm gonna take those fingers and get out of the place to get them back to the rest of the group.
Okay.
Because that was what we were asking for.
So you're going to disturb the pile of finger bones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when you do that, you cause a little avalanche of finger bones. They clank and clutter on the ground. And as soon as you do that, back down the tunnel you just came, you hear a very strange noise. It almost sounds like something clicking. Like...
Okay, I'm gonna hide.
There is no place to hide in this room.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna point the pitchfork in that direction and pull the rope just in case.
Okay.
I don't want to take risks since I'm not really a fighter.
All right. So going back 5 minutes, you guys are upstairs or up the hole. What are you guys doing? You're eating your sandwiches?
Chewing my food.
Yeah, cucumber sandwiches. Yes.
All right. Since the three of you did that, and Xavier is just staring straight forward, Xavier suddenly notices the rope yank.
Holy. Guys.
What?
The rope.
Yes.
The rope. Finish your sandwiches. And
Finish your
Right.
sandwiches.
no, I'm telling them
Is this
trying to get the
mayonnaise?
rope. How I can get down that hole, can't I?
No, you can't. You're 65.
With a size of 65, could I
Is
get
he
down?
pulling
Not
the
falling in
rope?
that hole.
The
The only ones who can fit are Alfred, Professor, and Edward.
Yeah. I'm going to shout down the hall. Edward, are you all right?
You're right, old chap.
Edward, you easily hear him yell that. You also hear more clicking noises the second he does that.
Be prepared for something. I've heard clicking noise.
We hear that.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's-
this is
he's-
not good.
Can we hear clicking?
No, you're outside.
He's saying he hears something. I don't hear anything.
Well, here I'll point my gun at the hole. And you gentlemen start pulling him out.
Yeah, so just careful that you don't shoot him when he...
All right.
I was the captain of the shooting team, Garrett.
So at this point, Edward, you're standing there, and you're hearing noises coming from the first room you were in. And suddenly the rope goes tight and starts pulling you towards that room with your pitchfork.
We don't know. We can...
Right.
We're just getting him out.
Faster!
I'm just pointing the pitchfork at the direction of the clicking because I don't feel safe about this thing.
Okay. After a couple of seconds, you are pulled into the main room that you were originally in, and you realize the clicking is coming from your right-hand side, from the next tunnel over. And
The center one, okay.
as you are standing there, something moves in the tunnel. You can hear that whatever the clicking is, it's just on the other side of the wall from you at this point, and you see a grayish black sort of hand with very long fingers sort of reach out and put itself on the wall, and then another one, and then something moves forward out of the darkness. The only way to describe it would be a human skull, but sort of pulled back like this. It has wisps of grayish black hair. It has no eyes, but it has a big mouth with 4 huge flat-ended teeth that are clicking together like a giant gopher or something like that.
Okay.
And it's moving its head around like this, trying to locate where the noise is coming from. What do you do?
Sanity.
Yeah, you should probably take a sanity roll.
Yeah, since you roll, yeah. 90 fail.
Ooh.
All right, do a
80,
1d6. Do a 1d6.
He shat his pants.
Well, since it's sanity,
Murder!
5.
Oh.
Do an intelligence roll.
Murder.
98.
Oh, that's
So
good.
it's-
You
It's a
failed it.
critical fail.
Okay, you don't fully comprehend what it is you're seeing, but you do probably let out a ah like this as you see the thing.
He's
At
in
which
trouble.
point-
Pull.
At which point it
Faster.
immediately turns towards you and they pull you into the room. You can see that there are at least 3 of these things in that tunnel ahead of you, or not ahead of you. Now you're being pulled towards the other hole.
Yeah. The outside.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant they pulled him, and I thought.
No,
gee,
no,
I
no,
was like,
no.
shit.
You guys suddenly started pulling him when you hear him scream. They are going to attempt to attack you. You have your pitchfork. Okay. So they sort of hiss as they click their teeth together, and they leap forward. Are you going to try to defend dodge,
I'm
or
gonna try to keep them at bay rather than inflicting them damage because, yeah,
okay?
That's a fight back.
life,
So the first one leaps forward, and you sort of poke at it with the pitchfork. You now get kind of a better view of it. They're definitely vaguely humanoid, and they're extremely emaciated, so much so that you can actually see the bones sort of poking out of the joints where they've come together. Their fingers are incredibly long and thin, and their feet are definitely those elongated human feet. And they sort of try to stand on their toes as they're moving forward. And they seem to have no eyes, but they're clicking. When you poke them with the thing, they react by backing up a little. They don't like being poked.
Okay.
But there are 3 of them. So one of them is, you've poked one of them. The other 2 are kind of flanking and coming around to the sides and trying to get to you. Do a power roll.
29. So I think I succeed. Hard.
All right. They also got a hard. One of them also got a hard roll. So, as you're struggling to beat them off, they don't seem to be so much trying to scratch you or anything like that, but one of them on the side manages to get its long fingers wrapped around your wrist, and it yanks your hand forward up to its mouth and bites down, and you feel excruciating pain as one of your fingers is snapped off, and it immediately runs away back into the tunnel. By now, the others are pulling you up the hole. Okay, and you guys see that as you're pulling him up the hole, he's got blood, all over his hand. You can do a a dex roll to see if you drop the pitchfork in the process.
That makes sense. By the way, when I'm pulled up, I'm gonna shit my finger. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, but
Does he take damage from it?
61. I'm gonna use 11 luck to make it pass.
Okay, that just means that you have your pitchfork with you. That's all that you've succeeded if you want to do that. All right, you drag him up. He's holding his pitchfork, but he's also holding his hand. You can see blood is pouring out of his hand, and he's saying, "Shit, shit, shit." What do you guys do?
Holy
They got his finger. I'll rush over and I don't know, rip a piece of cloth from a shirt or something and try to get the bleeding stopped.
When you take a look, you can see that it's been snipped, like it was snipped with a,
like a cigar cutter or something.
Right? Yeah, like with a cigar cutter.
Yeah, we should step away from the hole.
Edward's also almost in shock because he's freaked out by what he saw.
I'll do. Probably better let the doctor do first aid, but I can do it if need be.
Those of you who are still up, you can hear hissing and clicking coming from down near the bottom of the hole.
Okay, I've got the gun. Doc, you do the first aid.
I pull my gun.
While the doctor gives me the first aid, I'm gonna tell everyone those are not even human.
Not human, you say? And at that, I fumble the first aid and it fails.
All right. So he's bleeding. You're going to need some more medical. You're going to have to get him fixed up.
Sorry, how much did he lose? Like, how desperate are we to
do a 1d2?
Oh, okay, he's lose a finger and the other.
He's not going to die from it.
Okay, good, sweet. Shotgun. Then on the hole, waiting for the.
Well, you can hear them, but nothing comes out. And you realize you do realize the light is shining down the hole from that. It's still midday, so.
Oh, they don't like sunlight.
What did you see down there, Edward?
I have to describe it. I'd say moving corpses that are completely deformed.
So not a giant rat.
There was definitely some look to them that you could think of them because they were definitely hairy and icky. They didn't have tails.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, to me it looks.
And
more
they had
like
rat-like teeth. These big old incisors.
Could the deformed footprints be from these creatures?
From them, yes.
Was any of them wearing high heels?
They weren't wearing anything at all.
Oh, how uncivilized!
No clothes at all.
You think some devolved human beings were isolated off into this well or something and have been living down in there?
What about this? I mean, Edward here's the nut job, but with all this occult stuff. But here's a wild thing for you. What if? What are they? The McDougalls, right? This is the family estate for the McDougalls. What if they're the McDougalls?
Did they speak to you?
That was 200 years ago. The last McDougal, if I recall the professor's research at the church correctly.
Well, all of this stuff. I mean, they all got wiped out, right? And then all this kicks back off when one of them comes back.
Oh, the graves. The graves were.
That's what I want to go check. We're going to go check the graves of McDougalls.
Should we seal this entrance?
Good call. There's plenty of rocks here. We can we can fill this hole.
Well,
Xavier, you keep a gun on the hole, and me and Garrett will try and get some rocks in the hole.
Don't worry.
We'll push some of the rocks.
I don't know, Edward. You want your finger back?
Actually,
Can you feel the finger?
Oh, good. Yeah.
I feel the finger, by the way.
At the moment, you don't. I mean, obviously, your hand is throbbing.
Is there a way to amputate? I mean, like, for example, the finger is bitten here, and is there a way to cut it further? Or is it really here?
I mean, yes, there's a way. It would definitely have to be something Alfred would do with medical equipment.
I've got a shotgun.
Well, you do have a shotgun, Liam, and we've got like cannibal savages down here biting people's finger off. Poor Edward's got his finger bitten off.
These are not really cannibals, you know.
I can't fit down the hole.
Don't have eyes, guys.
They don't have eyes.
Their heads are literally skulls. I don't know how this is possible, but
do you reckon
their heads are skulls.
Was it through sound then? Were they finding you through sound? Is that possibly what the? You said you heard clicking, like the vibrations of you know. There's some creatures that
no,
that
those are their teeth. Those are their mouths, not anything else. They are.
Yeah, they. Some.
No, that's what I'm saying. They make sound to vibrate off things, and so that's why they.
No, they heard me when I was moving and talking in general, not from their perspective.
Edward, do a luck roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so me and the professor are filling the hole in with.
No luck.
Yeah, luck.
Oh, you passed?
No.
Okay, you didn't pass.
Used too much.
So you had grabbed some finger bones, but you dropped them along the way when you were attacked.
I thought that would make sense.
I think possibly we should fill this hole up. I'm sure they've got some shovels down there. We can go pack up this hole a bit and then go and check out the graves of the McDougalls.
Yeah, I think we should check out the graves. Now, I also think that we should get a stick or two of dynamite just in case we want to throw something down the hole at the end of the day.
Where are we going to find dynamite?
You'd find dynamite. This is the country. People blow up tree stumps.
Yeah.
Brilliant! I love this idea.
And what if the bodies at the graveyard aren't there?
Well, then it confirms. Well, it would somewhat confirm what I said, that this is the McDougalls.
And if it is the McDougalls, are we planning to confront these creatures or this family that's living down in this hole, or?
Well, you can, but I'd rather not. I quite like all my digits.
When I was down there, guys, there was a first room that was leading to 3 different rooms. I did go on the right one, and I found a pile of fingers, but just a bone.
How many were there?
I didn't really count. There was
A lot of them.
Was there more than 12?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot more.
So our theory of the 6 and 6 doesn't fully
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Those tunnels very well may lead to the graveyard.
Was that's a good. Was it like when you got down there? Was it tunnels that had been dug out, or was it remains of the
They were dug
castle?
out. They were dug out,
so
actually.
It wasn't actually the castle, right?
Actually, when I tried to get some fingers to get them back to the victims, potentially, I made them drop, and the hissing and clicking sound started. They were coming from the middle.
Well, that would support the theory then that when you made the noise, that's why they caught on to you when you made the noise.
Echolocation.
Yeah, that's
Shit, it's starting.
There is something we're not addressing here, because these creatures, yes, they're biting the fingers clearly, but all the fingers that were taken in the next town over,
Shit, it
Yes,
hurts.
you're right. They were. All of them remembered a man in a coat and everything.
Shit, it hurts.
Edward's in a lot of pain here. What does it feel like?
Get him back to the inn.
Biting.
Something. He's having the same symptoms as Clarence. Something's gnawing at his finger. I think
Is
the
it
only way
always
to
the same hand?
No, he actually got his index finger bitten off.
Oh.
Oh, well, that doesn't match up with the rest then.
I think to bring relief to these victims, we need to go in there and recover these fingers.
Yeah. Why?
We're the Mousetrap Club.
Yeah, yes, and we figure out mysteries. We don't go into places to throw our lives away.
That's why we bring old reliables like this.
Well, again, I must say, I think nothing is more reliable than dynamite, and then we can go in afterwards.
True.
Well, we need to make the hole bigger for Xavier and me anyway. We wouldn't get, especially now that it's full of rocks.
Let's make a massive hole.
Get Edward back to the inn. Me and Garrett and Xavier can go and find the graves, and we'll try and see if we can find out if the bodies are there and all the fingers are gone, but also if the bodies are gone completely, then as you say, we'll also try and find some dynamite.
Let's get some crowbars or levers or something in case.
Yes, they'll have plenty of all that kind of stuff. But yes, Alfred, you get Edward back and I guess put him in with Clarence. You know, the innkeepers are not going to be happy we brought another one back. We're going to have to pay through the teeth for this. That's right. I'll cover it.
Right. So you guys are you all heading back? You've thrown rocks and dirt in the hole.
Yeah, me, Xavier, and Garrett are going to go and find the graves of the McDougals.
I'm going to take Edward back to the inn and in a more proper environment. Try to help alleviate some of this pain.
Yeah, try and stitch it up.
Just get off. Get off here.
All right. So Alfred, I'll move this forward a little bit. Alfred and Edward go back, and you are able, with stuff that you brought yourself, to fix Edward up so that he is not bleeding and that he's stitched up, but his finger is gone the same way as Clarence's is gone. And there are moments when Edward seems to calm down, and then all of a sudden he'll jerk, and it feels to him like something is literally gnawing on his finger, and he can feel every excruciating bit of it. You can tell that he looks incredibly alarmed, like he couldn't actually believe that this was real, and now it's happening to him. The others, you head over to the churchyard, and you learn from the priest that according to the records, the McDougall graves were robbed shortly after they were buried, and because of that, the graves were eventually repurposed and used by other people, because there was no point in having a bunch of empty graves.
Oh, so they were robbed and the bodies were fully taken.
Everything was gone from the graves. Yes, the bodies were gone.
Grave robbing.
Yeah, but normally grave robbing, they don't take the body.
Yeah, the bodies were gone.
True. This is more.
There were no
That's
bodies.
what I'm saying. If you got up from a grave, like your own grave, you would take your stuff with you. So maybe it wasn't grave robbers. Maybe they got up.
Won't be the most far-fetched thing.
No.
Maybe there were.
Well, that's not good. Let's go find that dynamite.
Let's.
Dynamite's not that hard to find. You'd find it.
I think it's going to be not a great night for us, because Edward's going to be in a lot of pain, and I think whatever we might have pissed off whatever's in that hole. We might be in for a bit of a fight, gentlemen.
We've got out of. I was about to say we got out of tougher scrapes, but I have
don't
not
think we
clue
have.
what to expect.
All right.
We should get some whiskey for Edward as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So you're all a bit unnerved, I guess, by what happened. What are your plans? Are your plans to do anything at the moment, or are your plans to do something later on, or are you going to wait until tomorrow? What do you want to do?
Do we want to go out tonight and sort of see if...
Alfred doesn't want to wait at all. This seems like seeing Edward in the pain that he's in. Clarence has been suffering this for days.
We'll need to ask David to keep an eye on Edward as well. If we're all going to go out, we'll need to get some David to watch Edward.
Edward, do a power roll.
Failed. Failed by... Can I use luck for?
Yes, you can.
65. I use 18 luck to pass it out.
All right. Let me give it to you this way. You can decide whether you want to lose that luck or not. If you pass, you feel that you're not so soft that you can't plow through the pain. You're not on where Clarence is. Clarence doesn't seem to be able to handle the pain at all. You, on the other hand, if you pass, you're going to go, fuck, it hurts, but I want to go. Otherwise, you're going to be like, oh, it hurts so bad. Go lay in bed.
I'm gonna eat something, a branch or something like that, just put it in my mouth so that I just...
All right, so you're going to plow through. So you'll have to spend the luck then to pass the power.
My concern with the luck with you becoming Edward is if these things if they do pick up on sound and that's what they're hearing, even your grunts and groans from the pain are going to tell them exactly where we are. So just be very... If you're going to come, that's fine, but you'll need to...
Before coming, I was... I did think about asking to the doctor to just cut off the finger here, just to try and, separate all the thing. I know it might be stupid, but that's what I have.
Interesting theory.
Do you have the equipment? Are you an actual... I don't think you're that kind of doctor, Alfred.
He's an alienist, so he's both medical and psychological.
Right, okay. Do you have the equipment?
A knife is a knife. I've never removed a finger before. Edward, are you sure?
Well, you're not removing a finger, you're removing a nub.
This could go wrong.
Oh, cool. I'm sure I don't have any better plan. So I just put my hand like something like that on a table or something, so that it can be easier for him.
Wow. Alfred, you even
so
do
instead of at the knuckle, you're going all the way back to this knuckle.
Yeah.
And removing it. All right. Doc, go ahead and do a medical roll. I'll even give you a bonus medical roll.
Come on, Doc. You don't fuck it up.
You're okay. I got a regular success.
All right. So he removes your finger all the way back to the knuckle, and he patches it up and everything. And you're thinking, well, maybe that did the trick. And then the invisible finger that's floating out here in the air starts to feel like something's gnawing on it. And it's excruciating. But if you can plow through it, you can keep from screaming. You can be like,
hit on the table, you're biting more into the thing, and I'm gonna say shit.
Now you're thinking if you cut your whole hand off, You won't
No,
feel your
no.
hand, but you'll still feel the finger floating out there. This is more than just nerves going on
Okay.
here.
I don't know how I feel about if we're going to go out, and if these things do find us via sound, it's a big risk.
Yeah.
We could gag Edward.
Well, I mean,
I'll do it alone. If
possibly.
you ask me, yeah, I'm doing it by myself. It's okay.
And
For the
Edward does tell you that when he shoved his pitchfork at one, he heard it. It backed away.
Well, no, yeah,
So they can.
I
be
think if
hurt.
a man loses his finger to these beasts and wants to go, I don't think we should stand in his way.
All right, then you two can be a pair. You can look after him, and we'll. What's the plan? We're going to go either sides of the ruins and try and wait for them to come out and wipe them out.
I mean, if we wait for dark, they might come out of the hole, because it seems that they were afraid of the daylight. So,
and we have
at least
the hole.
The hole's been completely filled up. You guys did that.
Could we lure them out by like dangling one of our hands over the hole? Just dangling it over.
Who has the chubbiest fingers?
Davia.
Yeah, me. See, look, my ring finger is very tasty.
What are you going to do? Are you going to go now, go later, go tonight, go tomorrow?
I like the professor's idea. That
maybe. Now I think of it, maybe setting up traps.
Well, how long do we have until night? Like hours?
We'll say it's 5 o'clock now.
Okay, so that gives us maybe 2 hours before nightfall.
We'll say it's 5 o'clock now. All right.
Okay, so around about 2 hours before. Oh no, we're in the Highlands, so yeah, nightfall is going to be way quicker.
we could take the try to.
I'm just saying we're not going to have time. We're not going to have enough daylight to set up traps.
We could just get the rocks out of the hole and wait at top of the hole with our weapons drawn, waiting for anything that might come out, and try to dispatch any creatures that come out. And hopefully Edward can show us down to this place where the fingers are, and it might provide. Getting those might provide him and others.
I don't love the idea of, because we don't know how many of those things there are. They could quite easily outnumber us and swarm us, and you know, I'm a pretty good shot. I don't know about the rest of you. I remember from my memories at school.
What do you suggest then?
Well, that's what I laying in wait and waiting for them to come out. Not, you know, and I don't. The traps is not a bad idea. I just don't think we have the time to set the traps up before nightfall.
But maybe if we wait till tomorrow night, because then we can see if they actually dig out the hole we filled.
And that way we've got Clarence will be gone tomorrow, because tomorrow morning they come to get him.
And then we'll have time to set up proper traps, snares, nets.
Yes, let's do
whatever.
that. Let's hunker up at the inn. We can keep I don't mind if me and Xavier, we can keep watch, and we'll just do it to start, and then we'll do it, and we'll swap in and out, and just keep an eye up the hill, and then, as you say, tomorrow we can see if the hole's been dug up or not, and then we can go from there.
All right.
That means,
so
Edward, you can try and get some rest.
Yes.
Edward, do a luck roll.
And he doesn't have a luck because he spent a shitload of it.
Well, how to say? 27 out of 3.
You've got 3 luck left.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't get a good night's sleep tonight. You're gonna You're going to be in a lot of pain, tossing and turning. Every time you just barely start to fall asleep, the pain becomes excruciating and you wake up. So tomorrow, you're going to have a penalty dice on anything that has to do with thinking.
Okay.
So
At least I will try.
All right. So the rest of you are going to spend the night in the inn, waiting for tomorrow. All right. Next morning.
Did we see anything in the night?
It's pitch black outside. There's no street lights or anything. What were you?
Ah, good call. Good call. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see anything.
Okay.
First off, in the morning, I'll try to do is focus on the missing finger and pull out the card.
Okay.
So,
the reading today just seems completely random.
okay, so yeah.
Oh, Edward, you're not looking so good this morning. It doesn't look like you slept at all.
True, but I want this thing to end in a way or another.
You totally want your finger back.
All right.
My finger back.
Let's go check the hole.
Yep. And
All right.
get prepared.
All right. So, you guys have all of your stuff with you. You walk up the hill. Do a spot hidden for me.
01.
06.
99.
Do I use it 2 times or 1?
Bonus. You get a negative dice, so yeah.
You roll it 2 times and you take the worst roll. Yeah. All right. Liam and Xavier. Everybody else seems to be at least mostly concentrating on the ruin as you're walking up, and you just happen to be looking down at the road. You realize there are fresh car tracks. That a car came up this just probably last night.
Liam, do you see that?
Yeah. Garrett, Alfred, in your watches last night, did you hear a car by any chance?
Nope.
You don't recall?
There's fresh car tracks.
Well, someone's driven up here, apparently.
By the way, since I was up all night, I should have heard if a car.
You didn't.
We were all up. We were all taking turns keeping watch.
I was up all night. I didn't hear any car.
But you.
To be fair, you were screaming, Edward.
You were also all exhausted, so there may have been moments that you just sort of.
On that as well, I'm assuming the cart turned up to take Clarence. That's all done.
Not yet. Not this.
Okay.
Not yet. It'll show up sometime today.
Well,
you can definitely see that the car went part way up the hill and then it parked when it couldn't go any farther. And there are fresh footprints in the dirt that definitely look like the footprints you've seen before. And
the extended feet.
No, the shoe prints that you've seen before.
Okay. Including the high heels?
No high heels this time.
Okay.
And that they seem to have gone straight to where the hole was yesterday.
Hang on a minute, gentlemen. I've just had a thought here. So we saw high heels, yeah? We saw high heels. And we saw that guy's footprints, someone's footprints later on, but no high heels. Now we're seeing footprints. I'm going to go out on a limb. This is our finger cutter offer guy.
He's bringing people to
bringing the females here. After he's knocked them out. But then what? But then that doesn't.
And then he's taking them back and dumping them in the alley.
But does that equate to why? Because we saw heel prints. Like,
did we see David last night when we got back to the? We did see David.
I'm just thinking, if this is the McDougalls and they found a lot of gold, so why is someone bringing them fingers? Could be a trade for gold. And there is someone who is doing quite well, the priest. Could he be trading
Is
fingers?
the hole covered up?
Well, you haven't walked up the hill yet.
Because we've all seen, I think we've all seen the priest in. Was he a big bloke? Is the priest a big bloke or is he a skinny bloke?
Not particularly, but he did say that the McDougalls had left a trust that was taking care of the church all this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna make my way up, but I've got my my shotgun readied.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right behind Liam.
Because you know right where it is and you head right back up towards it, it very quickly becomes apparent, mainly because there's a shovel lying there, that somebody came up here and dug out the hole. Because now there are piles of dirt around. The blocks have been removed and tossed over to the side, and the hole is now open again.
This
And
wasn't
there's
the creatures.
Those footprints are there all over.
This wasn't the creatures. This is man-made. This.
It's that guy, the finger stealer, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's probably accurate.
But who is the finger stealer?
That's the thing.
I'm
We need to
I'm
follow
extremely-
the car tracks. We need to follow the car tracks back.
How many? Yeah, that's actually a.
Yeah.
extremely positive. Yesterday night, I've seen 3 of these creatures, and one of them took my finger. I'm extremely
Right.
sure.
The doctor.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. The doctor, the one we met in town.
Yeah. Was he a big
Not
fella?
human.
Not particularly.
No, he
I'm trying to-
seemed.
I'm trying to think of people. We probably haven't met this man, but I'm just trying to think of the people we have seen. But I don't
would
seem
it
to-
perhaps be better not to set up traps, but rather to make a good hiding spot and
That's a
try
good call,
to
yeah.
observe?
and we fill it back up because
Yeah.
someone will clearly come.
They'll have to come and dig it up again, so that's going to take them time.
And
And
if
if
we
it's one
set
man,
up a
I mean,
hide,
looking at the footsteps, is it one man? Like, is it one set
Yes.
of footsteps?
Yes.
One man against all of us. That's
and if we set up a hiding spot, like
yeah.
Garrett said,
Yeah.
we've got to jump on him.
Well,
That could be
I
that
might-
could be the ticket, just the ticket.
I might bust out the hiding spots, so I don't think it's a good idea that I do the hiding.
No, I think you should stay back at the inn. As you say.
Alfred, do you have some drugs we can give? I mean, it would be easy if we can just wrestle the person to the ground and perhaps inject him with something that would make him
Like a
easier to
chloroform,
transport.
Yeah.
You probably have morphine and stuff like that.
I have something that might work for that purpose.
Sedative of some kind. Well, let's try and follow the tracks of the car back and see if it, not the whole way, but let's at least see which direction it's come from. Because if it's come from Hullhane, we know that then that possibly,
Well, all right. That's one thing that you'll find out. I mean, there is only one other road going out, and that's going to Hullhane. And the tracks aren't there everywhere because there are people in the in Dunval. So
yeah.
You're pretty sure it just came from that direction, but it could have come from anywhere in Scotland coming up that road. So there are no other
No, I
roads
was
coming
also
into
just
Dunval.
double checking that it didn't come from.
It didn't come from
Clarence's
somebody in
car.
town, right?
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right. So it's definitely come from up that way. As you say, let's try if we can try and make some sort of hideout in the ruins, cover up the hole, so that when he comes back, he won't be able to. He'll have to dig it back up again. So we've got time to get the jump on him. And I think it's better, as you say, if you stay back at the inn. Are you happy to stay there by yourself, or would you like one of us to stay back with you?
If you think that's better for the situation, that you still stay all four here, I will let you do what you want. I mean, I'm the weak link here.
I want to ask you another question. Are you discussing any of this with people in town?
Not so far.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is that a good
Since
idea?
we don't know who this man is, we probably can't trust anyone
Anybody.
because you know what I mean. We don't know if they are working with him or if they are him.
I mean, the success of this also depends on that he brings someone here every night. This is the first night we've seen tracks appear. I mean, maybe we'll get lucky and someone will show up tonight, but it may not be a regular occurrence. But if Edward can live through the pain, we could burn more time lying in wait.
All right. Well, it's still morning. So what do you guys want to do?
Let's head back to Halhane, actually, or at least some of us. I'd like to see if there's been another woman that's been taken with a missing finger, or if there's someone else has been, because then that would explain why he did come up last night to take someone to get there, or you know, they might have not lost their finger because he couldn't get it. I don't know, but it's worth checking.
Yeah, we could see the morning post and see if there's perhaps an early morning story of
exactly
of someone attacked again.
The cart will be coming today as well to pick up Clarence and David to take them back. So we'll sort all that out as well. I'm sure the innkeeper will be.
By the way, Liam, can I go with you, since we will have more weight in our arguments if there is someone that has been beaten, if you see what I mean.
I thought we're all going, aren't we?
Yeah, I'll go. I think we might as well all go because there's no reason to split up. We don't have another place to really go at the minute, so.
And I'm assuming we'll cover the whole backup before we leave.
Yeah.
Actually, same way you did before.
Maybe someone should stay just to see if anyone else goes up.
Maybe I should stay, being as though I am armed.
Okay, if you're happy.
And I just maybe sit near one of the rocks, a little bit out of sight or something, and.
Let's do it this way. I'll stay here with you, because then that means I can deal with Clarence's transport and everything. You three go back into town and see if there's been any more incidents of people going missing or anything like that. See if anything's happened. And me, Xavier, will stay here and keep an eye on the hole, and we'll deal with Clarence when the cart arrives.
Yeah, that sounds fair enough.
Sounds reasonable, yeah.
All right.
So you can arrange for us to get a car, Liam?
Oh, well, you're just going to take Clarence's car.
Yeah, just take Clarence's car.
Very good.
All right. So while Liam and Xavier stay and take care of that, and sometime around noon, the transport comes for David and Clarence. Although they want to know what to do about the car. You know,
Clarence's car.
Yeah.
Well, we're using it at the moment, but we can I can organise for it to be transported back to London. No problem at all.
All right. Well, that'll be taken care of then. Clarence is not any different. He is still finding that his hand is excruciating. Edward is the same. He finds the same pain in his hand. And other than that, you're there. All right. The other three, you end up going back to Halhane, and you find nothing in the newspaper about this happening again. did you want to do anything else while you're in Howling?
Yeah, we'll drive by the woman's house that we had spoken to the day before, and see if we might catch her there or out in her yard again.
Sure. Yeah, they're out doing laundry. She's there with a few women.
Oh, so I'll step out. Pardon me. You might remember me from yesterday. I was with the well-dressed guy was speaking to you.
You were that bloke who was here asking about our fingers.
Yeah, just checking in on anything odd happened last night. Any of the ladies attacked again, or everybody seems to be accounted for and fine?
No, nobody was attacked again.
Okay.
But all of them tell you that their fingers still feel like they're being. It's some god awful pain. They're used to suffering, so they suffer through it. But you can tell that they're fatigued. I mean, they're used to working in the daytime. They were used to working at nighttime and sleeping in the day, but they're obviously up and around doing things because their eyes are bloodshot and they can't sleep.
Well, I'm gonna go towards them and I'm gonna ask about the details of how they feel. How can I put that? Hello, ladies. I am in the same situation as you are. Can you explain me what you feel about this finger? Because, yeah, I don't really know what to expect.
Their description is the same. It feels like something. Of course, from their experience, they were bonked on the head, and all they remember after that is waking up in an alley randomly somewhere in the town of Halhane with their hand bandaged up. So, and they do remember a gentleman who was rather large and tall, with a hat and a jacket and a suit that had a big car and whacked them. They thought that he was a high-paying customer. Well, or at least a moderately. They don't think that he was high-paying. His car wasn't that good, But he had good clothes, fairly good clothes. So anything else in town? This doesn't take you more than an hour or two.
Is there any other towns nearby, other towns as well?
There are, but they're farther away.
Okay.
And actually, this is where you came in. This is where your train stopped. So,
because there's a lot of fingers. I mean, yeah, maybe it might be collecting. They might have been collecting fingers for 200 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just wonder where the last night's victim was from.
But he's sitting right next to you. Last night's victim. Oh, I see what you're saying. I misunderstood what you said.
Yeah, the person
who last night, right?
Well, should we head back to the Boar Inn?
Yeah, I don't see much to do here.
I mean, we could check at the police station, but it doesn't seem like there's anything in the papers this morning, and the ladies didn't have anything.
I feel like just digging in near the hole.
Okay.
Making a good stand there and prepare for the night. A good hiding spot.
All right.
Pitchforks.
All right. So we'll assume that you take the drive back. It doesn't take long. And once again, you all sort of meet up at the Red Boar Inn.
What?
Any luck?
Total dead end. Neither nothing in the papers, and we even saw some of your favorite ladies from yesterday, and they're all accounted for. They had heard nothing about another assault. Not sure where this victim may have come from, if we're even on the right trail here.
The other thing that me and Xavier were speaking about that we find quite interesting in there. Well, it could be quite bad. It might be a sign of something, but Edward's the only one with a different finger that has been taken.
I'm trying not to think too much about this, but yeah, I'm just trying to help here. And if you are going there, I was thinking about using the lamp or a lamp or something to warn you if a car comes in.
So you mean you sit here and then you use the flashlight as like a light signal if someone comes? And
Yes.
that's that could be
could be helpful.
A good idea.
Since I'm not sleeping much.
One thing is that Edward was directly attacked by these creatures below. The ring finger may be.
So was Clarence. He was directly attacked.
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking that what might explain the ring fingers missing if our guy who's offering them up as sacrifices may be taking the ring fingers while
maybe
the monsters.
Creatures. Maybe it's maybe that the creatures may be aiming for the ring finger, and potentially they've missed mine.
But is it on the same hand? Tom?
Okay.
So
yeah, sure.
Finger, yeah. Okay. So it's all right. All right.
But when you saw these creatures, Edward, did they have all their digits? Were they missing any fingers?
Because he asked you that, do a knowledge roll for remembering.
Okay.
The penalty.
48 out of 65. So yeah.
Is that with the penalty?
Without the penalty, 48.
Okay, so both of them passed. Yes, they only had 3. A finger was missing, most definitely.
A finger was finger was missing on all of them, and I'm gonna show it.
Do a spot hidden. Also, this one you can just do a regular.
I don't have enough luck. I miss it by 10 points.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. There was only, 3 fingers that came around the wall.
And this is the Dirty MacDougal.
Possibly that's yes.
It's like they've transformed into these hideous creatures.
That could be worrying for Clarence. He might be next.
Rather disturbing.
Right. Well, I think the best thing we can do now is set up our hiding site and make sure we've got plenty of supplies. Does anyone want to stay in the inn with Edward tonight, keeping watch?
Not I.
No? All right, so we're all gonna be up to the top then. All right, so we'll be up the top. The thing, and Edward, as you say, keep watch. If you hear or see anything,
yes,
flash the light, and we'll be ready.
And let's try and make our hide, like we might have 2 hiding spots, so it could be 2 and 2, and watch from both angles, so we can kind of come in at them if for where they are. So we'll make sure we're covering both sides.
Good shout. Good.
And you refilled the hole again, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So now it's just waiting game.
Evening comes. Gets dark. Right about 11:30 at night. Edward, you're sitting there in a lot of pain, and you're feeling the finger, and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, you wish that it would stop. It's horrible. And that you understand what Clarence meant, like he could go completely insane from this, and you look up, and you realize as you look up that there is a car very slowly moving closer to the hill.
Light
And it's a
sign.
car you don't recognize. All right, so you flash. The rest of you do Constitution rolls, because you've been up here for hours.
Good.
Oh
Failure.
God. I'm gonna spend 2 luck because I got a 47 and they have 45.
It's okay. Liam saw it, so
Okay.
Liam sees the flash from the building.
You ready, gents?
Okay.
All right. You're sitting there for a moment, and you can see, sort of in the shadows, you can see the car pull up right about to where it was. The door opens rather quietly, and you see a gentleman get out. You can't see his features because it's dark, and he doesn't have a flashlight himself. But he closes his car door, and he seems to turn directly towards where you guys are, or at least where the hole is, and he starts walking up the hill. He walks more or less in a straight line, and you can see he's a fairly tall individual. Matches very much what the prostitutes described, except that you can't see features because it's dark. You just see his sort of shadow against the sky in the background, and the dark sky. And he comes up and he fumbles around for a moment for the shovel. Did you guys move the shovel, or did you leave the shovel?
Wouldn't have lifted it, I wouldn't think.
All right. So you see him fumble around for a minute looking for apparently the shovel that he left. And then he turns, starts to walk back down towards his car. Did you guys want to do anything at this point, or?
I'm staying. I wanna. Yeah.
You want to keep watching?
Yeah, keep watching.
Yeah.
All right. He walks back to his car. He opens up the boot of the car, and he reaches in and pulls something out. And at first you can't tell what it is, but then you can sort of see that it's like the thing you use on your car to, I can't think of the name of it, the thing that you use to,
The
jack?
well, no,
Like a
not
to wind it up.
like the thing to
Oh.
take the nuts off.
Tire iron.
Lug nut.
The tire iron, there you go. So he's grabbed the tire iron and he closes his thing, and then he walks back up. He doesn't seem to be in a particular hurry or anything, but as soon as he comes up to where the hole is, he starts to try to use the tire iron to dig with, to pry up the stones that have fallen in and pull them, and he starts setting them to the side.
So I'll just very quietly, Psst, is this our chance to rush him?
I think so.
He's distracted.
Yeah.
Can I pick up a rock that's nearby and throw it, in the direction of like the way he would be facing? So it's just
Okay.
like if he looked up, he'd hear something over there.
Okay.
And
Go ahead and do a luck
getting
roll
ready
on
to
that.
run for the car.
Do a
Yeah,
luck
I'm
roll.
getting ready to run at him.
46, which is a pass.
Okay. So when you do that, he stops what he's doing and he looks up, and he's looking around like this. And you still can't see him. He's still in shadow. He looks around and stops to listen. And then after a couple of seconds, he goes back to digging. You can see him pulling a rock
Okay.
out. And
Alfred,
he's using his hands too to pull some of the dirt.
I'm gonna go for him. I'm gonna point my gun out, because I doubt he'll run if there's a gun pointed to him, and Liam's got my back anyway.
And I'm gonna kind of come around behind him with the shotgun.
I'm just gonna attempt to go up behind him and point my gun at the back of his head. Maybe.
Okay, both of you do dexterity rolls to see if you make any noise. Remember, you're in the dark and there are big rocks all over the place. So
32, a regular pass.
I also got a regular pass.
All right. So you manage to maneuver so that one of you is towards the side, one of you is behind him, and he's not really paying attention. He's digging. All right. So do your next move. He hasn't noticed you.
So to be fair, I'm just going to press my gun against the back of his head.
As I see you do that, I'm going to say, lovely night for a walk, isn't it?
You press your gun against the back of his head, and he stops what he's doing. And he puts down the tire iron, and he raises his hands like this, and he says, "What do you want?"
I'm going to say, Alfred, torch.
I light everything up.
Okay. The man is wearing kind of a brown suit. He is dirty because of the dirt that he's digging. You can see that he is maybe 35, somewhere around there. He's hasn't shaved in a while. He looks scruffy. And as he stands there and you've got your light shined on him, you can see that he is missing a finger.
Who are you first and all?
Who are you people?
We're the ones with the guns.
And I'm a PI on a case.
He starts to stand up. Are you gonna let him?
No, I won't shoot him, but I'll try to back, not on the head, but try to keep him down by hitting him with the...
All right. So you're gonna, what, are you gonna hit him in the head?
Yeah, but fuck it, yeah, I'm just gonna hit him on the head.
Okay. You hit him in the head, and he falls back forward into the hole, and he comes back with that tire iron, since he fell right onto it, to try to hit you with it.
If he goes for Xavier, I'm going to fire.
Well, he's right in front of Xavier. You fire in the dark. You're. Well, I guess it's not that dark.
We've lit him up. Yeah.
Right. What do you want to do?
I'm going to try. How close would I still? I don't want to shoot. I've got a dodge, so I don't really want to shoot him. So I'm going to try dodge out the way.
All right, you're going to try dodge. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, 96. That is, not even my luck can save me.
Yeah. So he hits you square, like in the side of the neck, with the tire. But he only does 2 points of damage, but it knocks you back.
Ah, fucking ass.
I got a regular pass.
So you're going to shoot. You got a regular pass. He got a regular pass, but I think you win in that case. So you fire. What are you aiming at?
Stint a mess.
Okay. You people,
especially because the light's not great. So
murder.
I mean, if I can shoot lower, like a little bit lower of center mass, but so I'm aiming possibly for the legs.
What? Go ahead and roll for damage. You're right in front of him. You're right in front of him. So
okay, so that's going to be 4d6.
Oh no! It's not what I wanted. Fuck.
5, 6.
Oh, he's gone.
5.
You blow a hole in him.
6.
Yeah, you blow his whole interior mass all over the ground. He drops.
Oh my God, Liam! What have you done?
Wait, what are you doing? He went for Xavier.
Just
look,
tackle the man.
You could have hit him.
God.
You could have.
We brought Morphin. We wanted to interrogate him.
We're in deep shit now.
You
I'm
could
kind
have
of
hit
looking
him with
around.
the butt of your shotgun.
Did the sound of the shotgun turn lights on about?
Yeah.
Or
Yes, I rolled an 09, and you suddenly notice lights winking on in the town.
Right.
Well, we'll tell them the truth. This was the man responsible for all of the kidnappings of the prostitutes and taking them up here.
I mean,
Right.
the
No reason
truth
to
is
lie
that
about it.
the man was digging a hole in the middle of the night, which is not illegal, and we shot
He
him
matches
dead.
the description. He matches the
Right.
description of the man that was doing the kidnappings of all the women.
and he tried to reach for Liam's shotgun.
Right. Yes.
And we have a
yes.
private investigator here, so
Right.
we were hired to come up here
And-
to investigate.
Hang on, gentlemen. Right. Usually, because he said he had like a jacket on. I know most of his lower half is gone, but is his name on the top? 'Cause some people have their name engraved, like stitched in.
Well, I'm not looking.
On his clothes, no, there's nothing there.
Any idea? I doubt.
Okay, you're gonna look
Pocket.
for it. Do a
Yeah.
spot hidden. I know spot hidden with a. There's only like 2 places it could be, right? A wallet
Yeah.
in the
Here
pocket,
and
a wallet in the
yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, you do find his ID. Ian Bannerman is his name,
Ian.
Right.
and he is from Inverness.
Okay.
And from other bits and pieces that you can figure out in his wallet, he is a traveling salesman.
Ian.
Which is how he gets it, and
That's
traveling
how he gets
salesman.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do an
Let's-
idea roll.
It reminds me of that. It reminds me of that Agatha Christie novel, The ABC Murders, The Traveling Salesman.
Very, very true. And it's a cliche. How did we not think it was something
Yeah.
to?
Of course.
Oh, it's so much more simpler when it's right in front of you.
It's
But
simple.
they're looking at the ID. I wanted to look in his car.
Yeah, let's search his car before people come.
Edward, you can, of course, you heard the gunshot, and you saw the flash of light when the gunshot went off. What do you want to
Xavier,
do?
is he bleeding? Is Xavier bleeding?
No, but he's probably developing a big purple
Big
bruise.
bruise. So that'll help as well. We can. There's, he was attacked.
We can come up with some
Self-defense.
bullshit. We've had to do it before, Liam.
No, exactly. And that, like, I can pay people.
Not for murdering people, but we've had to do it before.
And what are you up to?
Do I see people starting to go there?
You do. You start to see people getting up, wondering what the gunshot was.
I will start to go with them since, well, yeah, fire shot in the dark. Yeah.
Okay. You are also in excruciating pain still.
Well.
So nothing there has changed.
All the way, like,
Yeah, you're trying to hold it in, but you have had no sleep for almost 2 days now. All right, people start wondering what's going on, but they don't. Well, you're going towards the car. You wanted to go to the car first. All right. You get down to the guy's car. Do a spot hidden roll for me. Just give it to you all on that.
Hard.
I failed that one.
Fail.
But you got it. You got a
I'm gonna
hard,
try to-
Garrett.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to gain a bit of time for them by telling to the others it might be the person who actually is stealing the fingers from people for some reason. He also did it with me.
Okay. Well, they all look at you very strangely when you say something like that.
Well, I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna show them my finger. Then in that case, I'm gonna tell them, just be careful. I don't know what he's able to do.
What you find in the car is very strong evidence that the guy is a traveling salesman, but that he hasn't been doing his traveling salesman stuff for at least a month, maybe. There's some trash here and there, almost like he's been living out of his car. And maybe some evidence of blood stains in the back seat. Not to the extent that anybody was bleeding severely, but maybe enough blood for a prostitute that had had her finger bitten off and was wrapped up. You also find some bits and pieces of wrapping, you know. So it doesn't seem like he cut the fingers off. He brought them here,
Knocked them out,
and something bit them off, and then he took them back. All right, so by now, there are a number of people moving forward, but they don't want to go anywhere near that building in the dark because of the reputation. However, the constable probably does. So he starts walking up the hill where you are. What's all this about now? And then he sees the dead body, and he's like, "You better speak up now."
We had I am Xavier Cordova, private investigator, and we were investigating into a case for a friend, and about he lost his finger and he wanted to get to the case for it, and we tracked it down to.
Here now, we're going to have to take you all back to the station, and we're going to have to talk this through.
That's fine.
All right, I can do it.
You might have heard in Helheim they've had a similar problem with people losing their fingers.
Yeah.
All right.
You know.
So he's going to take you back, all of you, and lock you up temporarily while he tries to sort all of this stuff out. I need you guys to do it. Oh, Jesus. You need to do a collective luck roll.
Oh,
shit.
Based on the worst guy's luck, which I believe is Edward.
He's going to do it. He's got to do it.
This is the downside.
I'll tell you right now, if he gets a 1, you're all. No questions. You're free.
50 under 3. So I get
yeah.
middle, but yeah.
You can push your luck, can't you?
I don't think you can push a luck roll.
No, you can't push
Yeah,
luck.
no.
You can't push.
All this so that he could be strong enough.
All right. So there is hella paperwork, and there is lots of questions, and the Halhane police get involved. And all the while, this is going to take a couple of days. All the while, Edward is becoming bananas. Edward, I think you should take a sanity roll. Actually, you should all take sanity rolls for killing a man, or at least being there.
I just wanted to check. Because Edward wasn't up the top with us, has he been locked up as well with us, or is he?
He all seems to be part of it, and they can't. The problem is with your luck roll, they can't work it out. Just
no. I'm just saying. Was he locked in with us?
He's locked. He's locked in with all of you.
I failed my sanity.
I failed as well.
I also failed my sanity.
Okay.
Made it.
Everybody who failed their sanity 1d4. And Edward, you said you made it.
Oh, a nice 4
1.
there.
I feel, I've never killed a man, but I was protecting my friend, so I felt it was a him or me situation.
All right.
Him or us. Sorry.
Edward, Alfred, you can tell that Edward is becoming progressively mentally unstable, and it's because he's not getting sleep. He continues to be in excruciating pain. He still claims that something's gnawing on his finger. But after 3 days of checking people's credit ratings and whatever, they finally let you out, but they don't want you all to leave immediately. They still have questions. Nobody wants to go up to that hill and do any digging. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And a lot of the locals are saying, "Oh yeah, it's the McDougal curse. It's something horrible going on." What do you guys want to do?
At this point, I feel like digging.
Yeah. We've
Yes,
got nothing.
I'm
Nothing to lose.
probably happy to do that as well. I'm probably going to, at this point, if I see that Edward's going the same way as Clarence, I'll probably organise for the same thing that I did for him. So once we are allowed to leave, I'll organise for Edward to be taken to Stonehurst.
Well, before that happens, I'm gonna hand you a golden pocket watch. And I'm gonna tell you, if I finish up mad or dead, please give that to my son or my wife. He has to.
I'm going to lean over
that-
to Xavier and be like, "Did you know he had a wife and child?"
How long have we known him? I did not
Why
even know.
the
Yes,
fuck
yes.
fuck
Yes.
did he come with us?
You've known this all along. Why wouldn't he
Okay.
come with you?
Jesus.
We're just teasing here. So.
All right. I don't know. How does Edward feel about that?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't-
telling him that I'm sending him to the asylum.
Don't tell them.
All
No,
right, you're
no,
not
that's what
telling-
I'm not saying. Like I didn't tell Alfred that I had Clarence sent there either.
There's strange things afoot, and if we can get to Edward's finger, this may snap him out of it.
Right. Well, I
I'm
think
for
it's
Professor Garrett's idea of digging and getting to the bottom of this.
Let's dig.
I think same setup again. If Alfred and Professor, if you guys go down, and then me and Xavier up there on the ropes, any sign you hear anything, we pull you up.
Okay.
But we
All
should
right,
bring some weapons of some
Yeah,
kind,
definitely.
some pitchforks or
Yeah, we'll assume that you're
Something.
well armed this time.
Mm.
yeah.
All right. So let's assume that you probably spend the afternoon. Oh wait, are you going to go down in daytime or nighttime?
Day.
All right.
Day, yeah.
So you spend the morning digging up the hole. You realize too that as you're digging it, it wouldn't take any effort at all to make it big enough to where all of you could go if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you've dug out the hole, most of it. The last little bit you'll have to do in the hole to get into the room that Edward was in. So, and you can't go all at the same time. So who's going first? Who's going first and who's going last?
I'm gonna go first.
All right.
I mean, I'm already bitten. I want the thing to end.
You're
No
bitten,
way,
crazy, and
another-
angry. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up the rear.
I mean, I've already gave the golden watch to Liam if I eventually die in the process. So
I will go after.
I will have no regrets.
All
I'll
right.
go after Edward. I'll follow Edward.
All
Show
right.
us where the pile of bones are at, Edward.
Right.
The pile of bones, I show you the road on the right. And after that, I tell you the corpses were coming from in front.
The middle.
There's also a passageway to the left.
All right. So with a little effort, Edward pushes through the other blocks and dirt, and it spills out onto the ground. And you guys, one by one, Edward first, Liam last, you come down into this underground chamber, as I described before. It's only about 5 feet high, so you have to kind of hunker down. And you can see, in fact, there are three, now that you've got all your flashlights going, you can see that The one on the right, as I described it, goes down a ways. The one in the middle, you can see it going off into the dark. The one on the right, on the left, you can see it doesn't go in very far, and it looks at first like there is a large pile of rocks in that direction. But they're oddly evenly spaced, lying there on the ground. It's something else. It's not a pile of rocks.
What are those rocks over there? I pause and shine a light.
Look.
Try to take a closer look.
You realize that it's a well.
We've heard of this well, gentlemen. Doesn't portend well.
Well,
Let's keep it going.
Let's have a look.
Do you want to look down the well? Yeah, go over.
Yeah.
Why not?
all right.
I'm gonna watch the well first because, yeah.
Be careful, Professor.
I would like you to all do a dex roll.
Hard pass.
That's a hard pass.
That's a fumble.
Ouch. 48 out of 50.
All right. When you were coming into this chamber and Edward pushed some of the blocks out of the way and they fell in, and you guys all scrambled out of the tunnel, some of you made a little bit of noise. And off in the distance down the center tunnel, you think you can hear a scratching, or it doesn't sound like clicking yet, but it sounds like maybe something down there is stirring. Alfred, you walk towards the well, or you scoot over towards the well, and you can see that it's an old stone well, probably from 200 years ago. Did you see you were going to look down in the well?
Oh, sure. I think Professor Garrett and I are over there.
You look down the well, and you can see that there is definitely water down there. The water looks like it's maybe 10 feet below where you're standing. It has an acrid, stagnant sort of smell to it. And by the way, everything down here smells a little like rotten meat.
Well, this is an interesting find, but I don't see any fingers.
Is there a pail?
No,
It's in the right.
it's just the ring and the hole. The wooden structure that was over it is long gone.
I'm gonna show you the passageway I took to where I found the finger bones. I'm gonna tell you there's fingers
Be
there,
careful.
for sure.
I heard something down one of those passages.
I'll follow. I'll stick close to Edward. Don't worry.
All right.
Go on, Edward.
You head on over towards that hole, and the more you concentrate on that center hole or the center passage, the more nervous it makes you, because you know that there's something lurking there in the dark that's making a scratching or movement down there. Edward, do a con roll.
Is that 92? I think it's a miss.
92. That's pretty miss. The rest of you hear what sounds like a clicking noise coming from the middle passage, and all of a sudden Edward leaps and grabs his hand and grits his teeth so that he doesn't yell out, but you can tell he's suddenly in really bad pain.
Edward, hold it together, man. Hold it together. I know you're in pain.
Xavier talked, so when he talks to Edward, and as soon as that happens, you begin to definitely hear something down that passage moving around, some things moving. So you're all
I'm
more or less
probably
in the center
backing-
of the room.
I'm probably, as I hear that, I'm probably slowly backing my way back up to the entrance tunnel.
The tunnel? Okay.
Yeah.
What are the rest of you doing?
I got my gun trained on the direction where I can hear the clicking.
Okay. Edward was moving over towards the passage going to the finger room.
That's who I'm following.
Well, I'll be sticking close to Edward while also keeping an eye in the direction of the clicking.
And Professor Garrett, where are you?
I'm gonna stay behind the armed people because they seem to be
Okay.
trigger happy.
All right. So Edward, you go first. You start moving down that passage once again, and you come to a room that is somewhat strewn with bones. You're pretty sure they're all finger bones. Do a spot hidden.
With a disadvantage or?
No, I think you're excited enough that you're
Well,
pretty alert.
that wouldn't change much because it is a 91 under 27.
Okay. Yeah, you just notice that there's bones everywhere. Alfred, why don't you do a spot hidden?
So that's a 36, which is a regular success.
Okay. Picking up one of the bones, you realize that these have been gnawed. The bones themselves have been seriously gnawed. So definitely something's gnawing on them right down to the bone. But other than that, there's finger bones.
Are there some of them are fresher than others? Some of them still have like meat on them.
It doesn't seem so. It seems like they're all old. There's no meat on them.
How many are we talking about altogether?
Maybe as many as 100.
So
we're sort of piled in the middle of the room, but they've been recently disturbed by Edward.
Yeah, because of me.
Yeah.
Edward,
You
recognize any of these?
Yeah, I recognize the pile that I just... Well, you can see it.
I meant, do you recognize your finger?
No.
So I'll start grabbing some of the fingers and actually put them in my pockets, trying to collect as many as I can.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the same.
All right. Professor Garrett and Zane, now you say Zane, I can't remember what your character's name is. Xavier and you. You're
Liam.
all sort of in the middle. Liam, that's right. You guys are all sort of in the middle of the room. Xavier, you suddenly notice that there are a number of things moving around in the shadows down that hole. And they suddenly start moving outward rather quickly. Some of them moving on all fours, some of them climbing along the wall sides as they're coming. And you can see that there are 6 of them in total. Do a spot hidden too.
Okay, I will, even though I know that just out of like a scared moment, that is just a success.
All right. You can see that they are all missing a finger. And with all of your flashlights, you can see that there are glints of gold. They are all, in fact, wearing rings.
Liam, I guess I'll fire at one. Oh, it's a bad idea, but out of pure scaredness.
All right.
Scared, I'm gonna fire.
We're going to fire. Go ahead and do your roll.
Luckily,
I'm probably not because I've got Professor Garrett and Xavier between me and them, so I don't want to shoot a shotgun.
I passed by a 1, so it's just a
Still
regular.
passed, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you got a regular roll.
Yeah.
They completely failed to dodge. So go ahead and roll damage.
That is a 1d10, according to my sheet here. And I have a damage bonus, which helps. That is 8 points of damage.
All right.
I'm gonna take a fistful of fingers and throw them at the creatures.
Okay. You, by the way, you hit the creature like right in the skull, boom, like this, and it stumbled. Let's say it was the one sort of climbing on the wall. It falls to the ground, writhes for a bit, and then runs back into the thing. But the other ones keep coming.
Fuck.
So now there's 5 of them coming out of the hole. Also, everybody do con rolls because he fired a gun in a tiny confined space.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Hard pass.
Failed.
I rolled a
41.
93.
I was quite close to the exit though, so I maybe didn't get the full brunt of it.
Well,
Yeah, failure.
if you passed, you're shocked but fine. If you failed, you've got serious ringing in your ears.
It makes sense for me to fail, I guess.
Since I don't want other people to get their finger bitten, and seeing that what Garrett did worked, I'm gonna just take fingers and just throw it at them out of
Okay.
adrenaline.
So both you and Professor Garrett are throwing finger bones at them. Go ahead and do a, I guess it's a brawl roll. Brawl.
Failure.
Well, 15.
Okay. And Professor Garrett.
Oh, failure.
Okay. Well, in either case, you guys throw your bones at them. Some of the bones hit them. Some of them bounce off. They do absolutely nothing whatsoever. The creatures don't even notice that you've done this, and they keep moving forward. As soon as they are within maybe 10 feet of where you're standing, they will leap forward like frogs, with their mouths open, trying to grapple you. So let's go around. You're all kind of in the middle at this point. So we'll say one goes for Professor Garrett. You can do a dodge or try to fight back.
I'm gonna dodge. And it's an extreme success.
Okay. So as it comes for you, it's not able to get a hold of you, and it sort of leaps right past you. Liam, it's leaping towards you. Go ahead.
If it's leaping towards me, I'll fire the shotgun. Sorry, it's going to ring the fuck out of your guys' ears, but...
All right, so you're going to try to fight back.
Yeah. That is a extreme success.
All right, so that's better than mine. What are you aiming at?
If it was coming straight at me, just boom.
Okay, so center of mass or the head?
Probably the head on this thing.
All right, go ahead and roll damage.
So it's got an extreme. Does that mean max damage?
Yeah,
I think
okay.
it's impelling.
Yeah.
So it's 4d6. So there's nothing left of it.
All right, there's nothing left of it. You blow its head completely off. Its body falls to the ground, and it twitches a little as you do this. At that point, you do notice some of the other ones that are farther back sort of stop for a moment in their tracks, and they're looking suddenly wary. But the ones that are in the front continue to come. So one's going to jump towards Alfred.
I've slipped my hand into my pocket and kind of unconsciously slipped on that McDougal ring that I'd taken from
Okay.
Clarence. I guess as it comes at me, I'll pull try to squeeze the trigger on the derringers as it leaps.
All right. Go ahead and roll to see if you hit him.
And I failed.
All right. As it leaps forward, it wraps its long fingers around you. It grapples you. Do a power roll.
Regular success.
Okay. It also gets a regular success, which means it's struggling with you to get your hand in its mouth, and you are in horror fighting with it. So it's not managing, but you're grappling, you're struggling with this happening. Edward.
If I see, okay, it's attacking me too. Okay.
Yeah, one of them is attacking you.
Well, I will try to avoid. Yeah. 18 out of 25.
It's a regular
Yeah, it's just a
pass.
simple.
All right, it fails, it misses. So although it's trying to grapple with you, you are quickly pulling your hands and everything out of the way. Xavier, now it's your turn to actually do something.
Yeah.
So
I'm just shooting at the
you're going to shoot another one?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Just a regular.
All right, it failed, so you go ahead and you hit it. Do your damage. Is this the same one that you shot before?
No, that one ran away, didn't it? So
That's right, it did run away.
Yeah. That is 10 points of damage.
All right. You obviously severely injure one of them. And it's dragging itself on the ground, trying to get back into the place where it came out of.
Fucking, what the fuck?
Let's see. Let's go back. Professor Garrett, you have a chance to attack or run whenever you
No,
want.
I'm thinking about the fingers that might still be intact. So I'm running after the one that escaped.
Okay, so you're running down the tunnel
Yeah,
where they came down from. All right. All right. Say that's what you're doing. Liam, what are you going to do next?
So there's a body in front of me from the one I
Right.
shot in the head. There's one on top of Alfred. One of them's trying to grapple Edward, and Xavier's sort of fighting them off. And then I say, Professor, run down there.
And everything is sort of going like this.
I'm going to go to the one that's on top of Alfred, and try and headshot the one on Alfred.
All right, go ahead and roll.
That is a regular pass on the shotgun.
All right. It also got a regular pass, but that means you succeed.
Okay.
So go ahead and do your damage. And Edward, you can roll a Constitution roll to see if you're completely deaf at this point from guns going off.
93.
Yeah, at the moment you can't hear anything.
20 points of damage.
All right. Once again, you hit it maybe mid chest and blow it completely away. There is no blood on any of these things. When you're hitting them, they're almost like you're hitting leather and dry bones. So it's blowing the thing away, and it's lying there. Dr. Zurich, what are you going to do?
So did Liam blow the one away that was on
you?
me?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So now what's the scene like as far as how many of these creatures are around and where are they at?
Well, let's see. What have we done? We've blown 1, 2, We've blown 2 away, correct?
I've killed 2.
One of them ran back into the hole. One of them is running back into the hole. And the other 2 are still out and about. One of them is fighting with Xavier.
Edward's got one trying on top of him.
No, I think the one that I shot at was crawling away.
You injured one.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
one of them's grappling with one of you. Oh, that's Alfred.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I killed the one that was grappling. You just killed that Alfred. One. Yeah.
Okay. There was one with me.
Yeah.
He was trying to bite me too.
I'm reloading. I'm reloading.
So
I injured and I'm running away.
Yeah, so I'm standing there by the bones, like, thank God Liam just killed this one, and I'm fumbling around and trying to put a single bullet back into the Derringer for this turn.
All right, do a spot hidden roll for me.
That is a 69, which is a fail. For fun, can I kind of concentrate a little bit more, and I'm looking deeper into the bones. I'll put it that way.
I'll give you this.
And try to push.
You can either use your luck roll to make it, or you can push. If you push and you fail, you won't see what's coming at you.
I'm pushing the roll.
All right.
Oh shit.
I did fail the push.
Okay. So one of the ones that's left leaps kind of up and over all the rest of you towards Alfred, and it lands on you rather squarely. Okay. Do a con roll.
Failed.
Okay. It grapples you also to the ground. It grabs your arm. It brings your hand up and it rips off one of your fingers. It then immediately attempts to run back into the den where it was.
It's got my finger.
However, Professor Garrett is already halfway down that tunnel. And Professor Garrett, what you see as you move down the tunnel is it's almost as if with bits of rock and bits of dirt and bits of old torn cloth, these things have made little nests in the ground. This seems to be the place where they're asleep. The 2 of them that have sort of gotten away are cowering in a corner because they're severely injured. And do a spot hidden for me.
Failure.
Okay. So that's what you notice as one of these things shoves you sort of to the side and also comes running in, and it leaps into one of these nests on the ground. And you see it very quickly spit something out and sort of bury it in its little nest. And after it does that, it suddenly looks up, turns towards you, and sort of, and it tries to get, it doesn't try to attack you. It tries to sort of move into the shadows of the room and avoid you.
I'm going to speak to it. I'm going to yell, "Who are you?"
There's no response. It doesn't seem to comprehend. These things act very much like animals.
Well, then I will proceed to kick some dirt in its face.
Okay. Right. Let's go back to the top. There are 2 of them still fighting. Let's say the first one is going to go for...
One of them was on top of Edward.
That's right. One's on Edward.
Can I try to potentially grab something and like a rock or something and just bash in the head as
sure. You're going to try to attack. That's a brawl.
Yeah, the 90. I don't think it works.
Rolling a lot of 90s.
80. Sorry.
Okay.
You've only got, if
80.
you've got
It doesn't
base
change much.
25, yeah.
You try and you can't get leverage, so you can't really get it. The creature's trying to grapple you. It looks like it might be trying to go for another finger, if it can, maybe on your other hand. And Alfred, you had just had your finger cut off, and the thing has leaped off you. So I guess actually there's only the one creature that Edward's fighting, and the other ones have all gone back to their nest. What do you want to do, Alfred?
I want to chase that one that just snatched my finger. That
Okay.
bastard's got my finger.
All right. So that's where you're going, but it's leaped past Professor Garrett, and it's run into that room. But you know where it's going. Xavier, what do you want to do?
Well, gun in hand, I'm chasing after them.
All right.
I just injured two of them. I want to finish the job off.
Liam, what do you want to do?
Is there any, like, because we had some pitchforks and stuff, didn't we?
Yeah, but then you got guns, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna, as they've run down, I'm gonna snap one of the ends off the pitchfork and rip my sleeve off and wrap it around the end and douse it in my hip flask.
Okay, so alcohol.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
No, I'm trying to. I'm gonna make a torch. I'm thinking I need to cleanse the place. I'm getting a bit wumbo jumbo with Edward's stuff, so I'm thinking if I can cleanse the bodies and yeah.
Edward, what are you going to do?
Just trying to get that thing off me and trying to kill it in some sort of way, you know.
All right, do a grapple once again.
Grapple.
Get a good hit on him.
Yeah, 63. It's not. Let's say affected.
Okay. Once again, it didn't get it either, so it's still rolling around on the ground with you. The rest of you are now in that room where the creatures are now trying to avoid you. What do you want? They look like cornered animals. What do you want to do? And you know how dangerous cornered animals are.
What do we do, gentlemen?
They've got my finger.
Yeah, I know which one has your finger, I think, because this one over there, it dropped something and it buried it in these little dirty nests.
You have severely injured one, partially injured one, and uninjured one in this room.
Right, I'm gonna go for the I'm gonna try to shoot the non-injured one because that's more of a threat to me right now.
Okay.
I think that's the one that grabbed my finger.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
It is.
Jesus Christ. 88, that is a fail.
All right. You shoot at it, your bullet hits the wall next to it, and it reacts by leaping forward. But what it does as it leaps forward is, in your mind, you just see this giant teeth face coming right at you, but its long clawed damaged hand reaches out, hits you in the head, shoves you out of the way, and it runs past you as fast as it can. And those of you who are still out in the big room, you see it come running out, and it immediately turns towards the well, and it just as quickly as it can, it dives into the well. You hear the splash of water as it goes into the well. All right. What do you guys do with the other two injured ones?
Fuck. Oh man.
Well, I'm gonna start digging in that nest of the one that just left, looking for my finger. I'm just panicked to try to get it back.
Okay.
I guess
Since you saw where it went, or at least you can be directed by Garrett, you find it. It's bloody, and but you don't feel any extra weird magical pain. So
Just the normal pain of getting your finger bitten off.
exactly. And Garrett, what do you do?
Well, I'm just thinking, because there's two creatures now and they're just staring at us, right? So
Right, and they're both
should
injured.
we try to take one of them with us? Maybe drug it down, or have it been doing inspection, or because I want to know what they are. I mean, we know who they are, but we don't know because
I know what you're, but look at them. If we try to get close to it, it's just gonna try to bite us or leap away. You saw how strong that one was that went past me.
yeah.
It's up to you, Professor. And I toss my medical bag over to Garrett if he wants to risk it. I bet there's more fingers in these nests. Edwards could be in here. Clarence's could be in here.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna pull some. I'm gonna draw some morphine into a syringe, and I'm gonna go for the wounded one.
would it work for? Will it work for some form of?
I don't know, but it needs to be studied.
All right.
I've got my gun trained on it just in case it.
The one that is severely injured, it's not getting away very quickly. So I mean, it's hissing and it's snapping its mouth at you, but it's pretty damaged.
I'm getting ready to shoot it in case.
The other one is going to make a break for it as well. It doesn't look like it's going to attack anybody, but it's trying to get past you.
I will shout, Liam, there's one heading your way.
All right, let's jump back to the other room. Edward, there is one out here that is fighting with you.
Rock?
Try the rock again. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more effective in my hands right now, so.
Okay.
26. I'm using 1 point of luck to make it pass.
Okay, that's what those 3 points are for. All right, you managed to grab a hold of a rock and hit the thing in the side of the head. Why don't you go ahead and do damage? We'll make that a club, 1d8, plus damage bonus if you've got it.
1d8. Where did I put my d8? Here. That makes for a 6 on the dice, so.
All right, and you don't have a damage bonus?
Not really.
Okay. So you hit it pretty hard. You can even hear its skull crack as you hit it with the rock. The thing rolls over sideways and very quickly starts to scramble, and it scrambles over towards the well, and it also leaps into the well. You hear the splash. One of them suddenly comes running down the passage from the where the others are. What do you guys want to do?
Have I got my torch lit yet?
Yes.
So in the time, I would have lit the two that I killed, their bodies on fire. And if I sense the one that's coming, I'm going to try and swing the torch at it so I can set it on fire.
Okay, go ahead. Call it a brawl.
That is a regular success.
Okay. Got a 92. So you managed to give it a good whack with your torch. We'll say some of the cloth actually comes off your torch. Some of the flaming alcohol hits the thing, it does seem like the thing is very dry, and it partly, well, do a club roll of 1d8 to see if you do physical damage by hitting it as well.
7.
Okay, so you hit it pretty good. It hits the ground. It starts to burst into flame, but it still manages to get up, run over, and dive into the well. All right.
I'll run down with my torch, I guess, and.
All right, into where the others are.
Yeah, and if I get down there and I see the nests, I'm lighting the nests. I'm cleansing the place.
I try to stop him before he does that.
I push him off. I'm cleansing this place.
Okay.
Seeing what you're doing, I yell out for you to stop, because I mean, I will have access to something that no other history professor has. I will have access to a person who lived 200 years ago. If we can patch this creature up, and if I somehow, over the years, can make him talk, I will have a unique access to directly interview someone living 200 years ago. This creature is going to my home. It's going to my basement.
Professor Garrett, when you stick the needle in and try to drug it, you realize that it has no blood. It has no circulatory system at all. And that the liquid is just pooling there. And the creature is still trying to get away from you and snapping its teeth. Alfred, what are you doing?
I'm yelling, the fingers, and still trying to keep Liam from torching the nests before we gather Edward and Clarence's finger and any other potential victims.
All right. Xavier, what are you doing?
I am contemplating whether to shooting the creature that Garrett is looking at, because it's not working. The only way is he could try gag it or something, but it's just going to bite through the gag because of its teeth. So I'm not going to do anything at the minute, but I'm just contemplating whether just shooting it in the head.
Well, it is, because it's trapped, it's injured, and nothing has happened based on Garrett's movements. It is trying to crawl around back on itself so that it can get at Garrett, Professor Garrett.
I just come up to it and shoot it in the head.
All right, go ahead and do damage, because you're just going to do it point blank.
Yeah, and I do say before I shoot, I'm sorry, Garrett, but
Garrett's gone absolutely mad.
Where's my D4 gone?
It's enough. It only has one hit point.
You to start.
Oh,
It only has one
6.
hit point left.
I rolled 6.
All right. Yeah, so you blow its head off. It collapses to the ground. Alfred, you and Liam are struggling with a torch. If you guys can do opposing brawl rolls to see who manages to win this.
01.
Got a 19, and my brawl's a 25.
All right,
So you can match it.
Well, actually, it's level, so
It's a regular.
you got an extreme and he got a regular.
Right.
So
But if he's
Liam,
got the luck to spend,
Oh, I do have the luck to
that's
spend.
what I'm saying.
do you want
If
some
he
luck?
wants.
Yeah. I'll spend some luck to hold Liam off.
So we'll say that the two of them are struggling with this.
I need to get down to an extreme, right?
You need to get a 1. So you need to
Okay.
spend 25 points of luck.
I'm there
18,
doing this.
need
Can I
18 points of
go
luck.
to the nest and try to find my finger at least?
Yes, Edward, go ahead and do a spot hidden.
There's 6 nests.
27. I use my 2 last point luck
Oh.
to
You find it? All right.
You're now out of luck.
Yes, you actually do find your finger.
Now I can light them on fire.
You are now the most unluckiest person.
Well, after that, he can do whatever he wants. I have my goddamn finger back.
Now, when you get your finger back, you do realize that it's been gnawed on. So it's in pretty nasty condition.
I was expecting so.
Alfred, did you get your finger back? Yes, you did.
Yeah, I've got it safely in my pocket.
Anybody gonna bother to look for Clarence's finger?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Well, no, right now you're fighting with me.
I'll have a look.
That was the reason I'm saving the nests.
I'll have a look for Clarence.
Xavier is looking for the nest. All right. Go ahead and do a spot hit and see if you can find that little finger.
Okay, that is a fail, but I can spend some luck to find it.
All right.
That is...
In which case you find it.
Okay, 10 luck to find it. Okay,
so you managed to find Clarence's finger. These seem to be the only fresh fingers, except that you do find a couple of other older fingers where the flesh is almost all gone, but the bones are still being gnawed on.
Liam, those are your lady friend's fingers. Don't destroy those.
So are you easing up on me?
I'm sorry?
Because you're looking at the fingers. So you're looking at the fingers. So you've eased up on fighting me?
No, I haven't eased up. I just see Xavier over there digging through some fingers, and I say he's found some fingers of your lady friends.
All right, I'm gonna try and throw them off again to light all the nests.
Yeah, and while this is going on,
and the last body.
and I'm gonna try to hold that body for the opening.
I got a hard pass to my brawl.
Okay. So I got a 42 fail.
All right. So Leah manages to wrench the torch out of your hand and starts to light the nests on fire. What do the rest of you do at that point?
I'm gonna go see which way, because I didn't know they went to the well. So, oh wait, we heard the splash, didn't we?
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna go have a look down the well.
Okay.
I'm not actually gonna go down.
Three got down the well.
All right. So you go over to the well and you take a look down, and you can't really see anything. The water is kind of nasty. But if there was scum on the water or something, that's been disturbed. So obviously they went down the well, but you can't see into the well very far. You know, it's dark.
I know it'll go out when it reaches the water, but could I kind of light a bit of wood or something and drop it down as like
there's no wood.
I don't want to drop it.
It's also really interesting that you sit there with the end of a gun barrel up to your mouth.
Yes. Yeah. I guess, yeah. Actually,
all right.
That's not a bad
so
idea.
you set that on fire. This is a fairly tight enclosed space. It's now filling up with acrid smelling smoke. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna go out of the place because first off I want some fresh air, and second off see if there's people coming to us.
With all the gunfire?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm running for the exit.
I would like you all to do spot hidden rolls.
Did I get to burn the last body as well?
Well, yeah, you've set everything on fire.
No, didn't Garrett haul it out? Didn't Garrett carry it out? He said he was carrying it out, I think.
Oh, is he trying to carry it out?
Trying to pull one out, but I think he lit it on fire, which might be for the best.
Right.
Well, there's bits and pieces in the other room. There's one that's almost intact, but its head's blown off, and there's one.
No, I set those. Those were the first two I set on fire. I set those two bodies on fire straight away.
All right, so those have already been burning.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are coughing. You guys are your lungs are being filled with nasty,
I failed
acrid,
my spot hidden.
dead person smoke.
I failed my spot hidden as well.
Failed mine as
Me
well.
too. Yeah.
Anybody else? How about Edward?
Well, 98 out of 27.
Okay, yeah.
I think I just want to get the fuck out of here.
You need new
failed.
dice. You need new dice. All right. So you all managed to climb out of the hole, which is now billowing with smoke. All right. Let's finish this up a bit. So we went quite a ways over. Now we're over. You tell the townsfolk what happened. And they've kind of figured that along, that's what it is. They're grateful to you that you've managed to hopefully stop this. You've filled in the hole, you've buried the monsters in the ground. And you find out via post that Clarence no longer seems to be feeling any pain in his hand. Edward, you don't either. No more ghost fingers. And that you have stopped it from happening. However, after a couple of years, rumors start to circulate again that something on that hill is biting people's fingers off and taking them. So, at the end of our game, you've all completely failed to stop what was actually going on. Though you got your fingers back, which means you don't have any pain, other people do.
All
right.
Well.
So let me give you some things that happen. This is a little extensive. All right. Way back when, the McDougal family, as we read in some of it, they became rather prosperous. They made a lot of money. They built the tower. The village grew up around them. They became rather lavish and spent a lot of money. And eventually, their luck changed and their finances started to dwindle, and they started losing money. Alfred McDougal found some way to make a deal with a mythos entity, probably Nyarlathotep. And he found gold as a result. He found a large deposit of gold underneath the castle. And the pretense was the well, but the well actually had nothing to do with the gold that he had found. That's what he told the locals. That's where all the gold suddenly came from. Suddenly the family was wealthy again, but the entity had said, there's going to be a price. I need to ask you to do something later on, and you're going to have to do it. Well, these were fairly religious people. So when the entity finally asked Alfred, that was his name, Andrew.
Ian?
No, this was before Ian.
Right.
When it finally asked him to do it, he refused. And what he did was he went to the church and he asked the church to perform an exorcism. It's not understood whether they did the exorcism or not, but whatever it was, pissed the entity off. And so immediately everybody became insane, or it started to become insane. And the thing snuck in while they were trying to sleep, and it took their fingers. So once it had their fingers, it was able to complete some sort of magical thing. They all died, and then it took their fingers and cast spells on the fingers. It dug up their bodies, and it placed the fingers down their throats, and they became these entities. Now, before that part happened, Ian, who was in London, probably at school, he found out his family was dying. He came back. He couldn't do anything about it. His family died. Probably Andrew told him on his deathbed what he had done. And so all he could think of doing was taking a large portion of the gold, giving it to the church, and then buying some gunpowder and blowing the fuck out of this building and everything in it, which is what he did. And then he got on a boat and he went to America and started a new life. In the meanwhile, that entity took the bodies and made these things and stuck them in there. This was their supreme punishment for for disobeying an eternity of living in this manner. So, a few weeks, maybe a month or so ago, a traveling salesman came into town, and he actually stayed at the inn that you guys were staying at. In fact, very early on, you guys asked if they had a lot of guests, and the guy said, no, not really. I mean, maybe a traveling salesman every once in a while. You know, traveling salesman heard the rumors about the hidden gold, and he went up there, and he got bit. But in this case, he made a bargain with the creatures somehow that he would continue to bring them people, which he was bringing the prostitutes. And in payment, and you got this one right, in payment, they were giving him bits and bits of gold so that he was getting money and paying for the prostitutes. They also had complete control over him if they wanted to. So when you went down there, when Edward went down there and disturbed them, and then you filled up the hole, they sent out a psychic link to Ian Bannerman and said, come and protect us, dig out the hole. So he did. And then you guys did it again. So he came back again and dug out the hole, or was going to dig out the hole, and that's when you managed to kill him. Now, in previous versions of the game, most of the people went down the hole to fight the creatures, and one of them stayed up to hold the rope or whatever, and Ian Bannerman walked up behind them and
right.
Because once you start attacking the creatures, they send out help, 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 psychic things, and Ian comes to protect them.
Luckily, Liam took care of that problem.
Right, he took care of that problem. Each of them has their finger inside their bellies, and it's petrified at this point. The only way to destroy them is to destroy that finger. So there was a moment when Liam shot one of them and blew its middle out, and I had Alfred Alfred said something, and I had him do a spot hidden, which he failed, but he would have found the finger. And because none of you ever managed to figure that part out, I mean, you kept failing when I tried to give you the chance. None of you ever figured that out. So all of them simply resurrect the next morning.
Cool.
Back into their forms. They were trapped, but they were only trapped until one of them managed to dig its way out.
So I only managed to kill 2 of them.
And they came back the next day.
Well,
oh yeah, it's a kind of idea of a creature that's not really strong or resistant, but that comes back
so
to life
the
and
one
regenerates every day. Okay.
The one that Professor Garrett was injecting, and I set it on fire.
Mm-hmm.
The finger didn't get destroyed when I set it on fire.
No, because the finger is like stone. You'd have to crush it.
It's petrified. You actually got to physically.
And the ones that, of course, jumped into the well,
They were fine.
They're dead. They're dead anyway, so they don't breathe. They just waited 30 feet down the well under the water until you guys left, and then climbed back out again. I was really hoping you would get them all in the well and drop the dynamite in, because that would probably smash their little finger things.
Oh my God! Why didn't we?
And that would have been it for them. All right, let me go ahead and finish it. We could talk a little afterwards. It's very complicated. You guys did really, really well. Our players included Simon Benfey, Zane Fleming, Josh Carwood, Grant Dowell, and Magna Bonecall, with yours truly as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastery. There's a link below. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows, free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good game.